Tofumi, hi. Hello, everyone. You're welcome. Tofumi, hi. I even forgot to get that book, that phone again, Seth. Miss Becca, hi. Happy Sunday. You guys are welcome. Hi, cute B. Pelumi, hi. Thank you, Miss Becca. Arenike, hi. Thank you. I wanted to play a video for us to analyze today. It's not even a video. Thank you, Pelumi. I'm well. Thank you. Arenike, I love you too. Yeah, I would try to. I'm not even sure I did that on purpose, the saving on YouTube. I think it just happened, right? I'm not sure I was the one that did that. Or maybe there was a setting that I did. I don't know. But I'll make sure that it's up on my channel as well. Thank you, cute B. I have so many videos that I wanted us to analyze. I'm live on YouTube as well, so in case you can join me on YouTube or on TikTok as well. My YouTube is Everything Woman with Timmy. Everything Woman with Timmy. Miss Becca, I've tried to apply that stuff that you sent to me. Although I'm trying to write out a resume, but I will still do it. Thank you, Nene. Let me get the other phone where I can play the videos that I wanted to play for you guys, right? Let me just get the phone real quick. So just give me a moment. Okay, Miss Becca, thank you. I think I would need that actually, but I think with the resume thing, but I've done most of the application process. Okay. You guys, let's like the live, let's share the live, so that others can join. So we're discussing our regular customer today.
And I've told ladies the next time.
Can you guys hear it clearly? If you can hear it clearly, please let me know.
A Christian brother texts you at 10 p.m., 11 p.m., 9 p.m. that come and spend the night or come and spend the weekend. Tell him, yes, we are coming. I like guys in a relationship. Guys are upfront. If they
Okay. Hola, welcome.
want to date, they say they want to date because they don't want to marry. If guys want sex in a relationship, they are upfront. They say, come and spend the night. And I've told ladies, the next time a Christian brother texts you at 10 p.m., 11 p.m., 9 p.m. that come and spend the night or come and spend the weekend, tell him, yes, you are coming. Yeah, I'll come. I'll be there by 11 p.m. and tell him it's going to be wild tonight. And the guy will be excited. By 10 p.m. he'll be checking on you. Are you on your way? Say, I'm on my way. I'm getting dressed for you. By 10:30 p.m. you say, are you getting closer? You say, I'm close. I just passed by Pastor Andrew's house to pick him.
Okay, no, this is not even.
I always say we have more successful weddings than we have successful marriages. We have more successful weddings. Every Saturday there are successful weddings that make it to the blogs, make it to the minister blog, all these blogs and all that. Why? Because those people are practicing the principles of success. The average young girl has pictures, clippings of how her wedding dress will look, of how her cake will look, of how her decoration will look. She's preparing, she's consulting the best people, she's checking their pages. All these are principles of success. So why wouldn't the wedding be successful? It will be successful. Now, this same person has put zero effort in the marriage. Zero. No calculated, clear learning about marriage. No calculated, clear learning about...
Pelumi, I think it's network. I think it's network.
The opposite gender you want to marry, how they think, how they talk. But the average young girl can watch a 1-hour video of makeup. When I found out that girls watch other girls do makeup, I couldn't believe it. Women, I salute you people. Women can actually watch another woman do makeup. Wow. Men don't understand. We have no clue what that is about. It's like me watching another man barb his hair. Even to barb my hair, I'm tired. I don't like to barb my hair because the work involved. Now imagine me watching another person. So we are practicing the principles of success for weddings. So we are having successful weddings, but little or no successful marriages. I always say.
Exactly. If men don't cut their own hair, why would a man learn how to watch another man cut his hair? Men are seated in this congregation. Thank you, Cherish. Men are seated in this. Exactly. Men watch other men play football, right? It's in the same way that I can't understand how a grown man will watch another man running after a ball in a field and sit down there for 90 minutes and watch another grown man run after football, and I don't understand it. But as much as I don't understand it, you don't see me preaching about it. Exactly. And this man is talking as if he does not even know that makeup is a monetized skill, that if you learn, you can actually make money from it. So any guy that wants to be a barber, he will sit down and watch a man cut another man's hair, right? But anything you women do is they will shame it. Exactly. Men watch other men box each other and cheer them up. You are comfortable watching other men fight each other. You're comfortable watching other men running after a ball. And you think it is the world best thing. But when women watch other women do their makeup, it's embarrassing. It's something to make fun of. It's something that is funny. You make fun of it. You make fun of it. And they are telling you that women prepare for weddings and men do not. Who sets women up for preparing for weddings? The same pastors who tell women to wear wedding dresses and come to church and for them to pray for them. Thank you, Amina. Exactly. Automatically, whatever a man likes is something special. But when women like it is embarrassing. They said women gossip, right? Women gossip. The gossip of women is embarrassing. Women are gossiping, it is embarrassing. But men tweeting about each other on Twitter is not gossip. It's not gossip. When they monetize it, they just monetize it. They pick women's skills, the things that women do, they pick it and monetize it. But the one that women do is shameful, is a shameful thing, it is embarrassing. It's something to be made fun of. But men collect it and they monetize it. I'm telling you, men are in this congregation listening to him. Is that not embarrassing? Is that not embarrassing? But a woman watching another woman do her makeup is embarrassing. Having your makeup done is literally a skill. I feel like at a point it's even a life skill. It's a life skill. But it is not, it is embarrassing because it is women that do it. Thank you, Ola. Yeah, if a woman is watching other women cook, it is not embarrassing because she's learning how to serve a man. The fact that she's learning how to serve a man, that one is not embarrassing. But something that she's learning to serve herself, right? She's learning it for herself because he's not going to benefit from her getting her makeup done. It is not embarrassing. Women wearing a wedding dress to come to church to pray for a husband is not embarrassing. They don't think it is embarrassing. They think it's an act of faith. But a woman learning her own makeup, sitting down to watch a video of another woman wear makeup and learning makeup so she can do for herself or even make money out of it is an embarrassing chore to do. And people sit down, women sit in this congregation, listen to these men, make them build charisma, because they are literally gaining power because you are there. If you are not in that congregation, these men don't have the kind of power you think they have. Exactly. If a woman does not center men in everything she does, there is something wrong with what she's doing. When women were gossiping, it is up till this day, gossip has a bad stigma attached to the word. Whereas it is just one information of what somebody did to another person. And that's what media became. It is from gossip that media became what it is today. In fact, gossip is one component of media. Anything that women do for themselves is embarrassing for men. And the fact that there are women in this congregation who sit to listen to this trash is what I cannot seem to understand. Thank you, Elizabeth. Yeah, men want women to live for them. If your life is not revolved around them, you're doing something wrong. You are wrong. If your life is not revolved around men, you are wrong.
I saw a clip this morning. Since it's Sunday, I wanted to hear the word of God to bless my spirit. So I saw a clip of Funke Adejumo, and she was saying men are bulldozers. They bulldoze stuff, and that as women, we are the ones that build and nurture. I just thought it was interesting because they are also telling us these bulldozers are supposed to lead the home.
Yeah.
So Funke Adejumo is saying men are bulldozers. Mildred is saying men's brains are not fully developed. But in order to please God, we should let our lives be led by these bulldozers and half-brained species.
Exactly. That's literally a self-destructive move. Hallelujah. That's a self-destructive move. They are telling you that this is how men are. This is what they can do. This is their behavior. But for some reason, you should, Oroma, welcome. But for some reason, you should submit your life to them.
You know me, I'm not even saying these terrible things about men. No. All I'm saying is don't submit to them. Lead yourself. That's all I'm saying. No. And people keep attacking me. Every week somebody's calling me atheist or they are free, or they are calling me devil or one of the. Yet these people that are telling you that a man's brain is not whole, and that the man is a destructive, that men are destructive forces, but they are the women of God, right? They are the only ones. Please, what am I doing on this planet again? Because I don't know. I feel like I misread. Up is down, down is up, good is evil, evil is good.
And he's saying that women prepare for weddings and they don't prepare for marriage. What level of lies? That you will see a woman with her wedding dress, a young girl, she has pictures of dresses she wants to wear on her wedding day, but they are not prepared for marriage. If there is anybody who got, women are literally forced into preparation for marriage from birth. As a young girl, I remember, I know how from childhood, right? We will sit down and, hi Miracle, hi Chuku Meremeze. Wow. Women are trained from birth, from the way you sit, the way you eat, the way you talk. And that's why I'm saying, even when the world becomes normal and they're like equality, everywhere is equal now, women may not even necessarily know how to live on their own yet. They will know how to live on their own and survive, but they still don't understand what purpose, right? At any point in your life, you will still not know what your purpose is, because they've made women to believe that their purpose on earth is to serve men.
I've not seen a lot of videos from, or barely any videos, Kingsley Okonkwo about what men will be doing to prepare for marriage. I don't know if anyone else has seen. I'm just curious what he thinks men should be doing to prepare for marriage.
I saw one today that he said men are preparing for provision, but the provision is in division. It's not
stupid vision.
That men should be focused on the vision rather than the provision. The provision comes from the vision. What somebody vision? Shout hallelujah.
Vision. Like, what's all this vague and ambiguous nonsense that they claim is the responsibility of men? Even the provision that some of them claim is the responsibility of men, they are still saying it is your responsibility as the woman to help him bring the provision. So what exactly is a man's responsibility? Is there something that is tangible? Because they are saying, take care of the children, bear the children, clean the house, cook the food. These are all tangible things. What is a tangible thing that is a man's responsibility? All this is
his responsibility is to lead and to go to war.
Vague. All this vague nonsense.
I used to have one, would I say friend? Yeah, let me just call him a friend. But my neighbor, the man is passed now. He has passed now anyway, he's late. He would tell me that he hates when pastors say things like that. You know, when you're using words like rhymes, just like provision and vision and this. He said, if they born you well, right? Say that thing in Yoruba, let it mean the same thing you're saying in English. He was a Yoruba man, so he would say it in Yoruba and let the meaning still make sense. Let it still be the same. That's when you will know that you're literally not making sense. It's just because of English rhymes. Miss Becca, I know, right? I don't know why people say sorry to somebody. Exactly. That somebody is getting a divorce is not even something to be sorry about. Most of the time, if a woman tells me she got a divorce, right, I usually just say that, oh, I'm so sorry, just to be sure that I'm not trying to, so that I don't, in case she feels bad about it at all, right? Just as the norm. But deep down in my mind, I'm like, I get you, sis. Ruth, hi. In my mind, I'm like, congratulations, I understand you. Please, those on YouTube, help me to like the live, please. If you're on YouTube, help me like the live. I don't know how to keep this thing that will make sense. Need to get another stand.
Is that Kingsley outside your door making noise?
I don't even know. This particular dog disturbs me all the time. I don't even know where the dog is coming from, Seth. I've never even seen the dog before. And I don't think the dog is not close to, it's coming from a distant place, but somehow my microphone tends to get that particular sound.
That's why I named it Kingsley.
These people they lie a lot. If you're on YouTube, please help me to like the live. Just help me like it if you're on YouTube. Can the YouTube people even hear me? If you're hearing me on YouTube, please say hi. Olamide, thank you. It's like they have to drain women to a certain... Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ikide. They have to drain women in order to feel good about themselves. And the annoying part is that they lie a lot. These people lie a lot. Right? They lie a lot. Because you cannot tell me that you grew up on this planet and you don't know that women are over prepared for marriage and men are under prepared. Why do they teach women how to cook? They teach women cooking in preparation for marriage, not as a life skill. They teach women how to do house chores in preparation for marriage, not because it's a life skill. Okay, thank you, Aroma. Thank you. I have 12 people watching on YouTube, right? But for some reason, some people are refusing to like the live. I think even 15 people now. Please help me like the live on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, help me to like it. Sometimes some of these people watching that they will refuse to like are men. Oh. I'm telling you. You see, they've disappeared. They are men.
It's interesting how from an early age I've been hearing, is that how you'll be talking to your husband?
Yes.
Is that how you'll be doing in your husband's house? Not for once did I hear my father say to any one of my brothers, is that how you behave towards your wife?
Exactly.
Even when my brother will beat me black and blue, my father for once never said, is that how you beat your wife?
So yeah, Rems, as soon as I called them out, they disappeared. Though. That's how they prepare women for... It's in the same manner they prepare women for abuse. That's how they prepare women for abuse. They prepare women for them to get used. In the name of marriage. Yet, this man has the audacity...
Counseling.
Yeah. I saw one of his...
counseling will be telling you as a woman, When your husband is angry and is talking, be quiet. Premarital counseling.
And that's so sad. Dolapo, hi.
And someone is telling me that that's the secret that has made our marriage successful. And she thinks she's teaching me something that way, because in her mind she thinks that if I had done that, I may not have been divorced or something like.
My sister, when she saw Shege in marriage, right? She said she was going to sue the reverend that wed them because they didn't do premarital counseling for them. I just laughed. And I was like, do you think if they had done premarital counseling for you, what do you think would have changed? Because you've gone to report this man to his reverend. The reverend had called him and spoken to him. He has not changed. You've reported him to his mentor. He has not changed. You reported him to almost everybody. The person has not changed. But for some reason, you feel like if they had done that 3 weeks, or how many weeks of premarital counseling, it would have any form of effect on this man. Women are joking. See, you that married, let me tell you something. The only time a man gets to choose something on his own, right? The only thing that men have the power to choose is the power to choose to marry you as a woman. Every other thing, they are following what other men are doing. Men are just copying. They are not original, right? They just copy men's or other men's original thoughts. They just pretty much copy things, and then their lives are dictated for them. The only time they get to make a choice is when they chose you to marry them, right? You were just the choice, even though the choice was still influenced by their socialization, but that's the only time they get to choose. And if the only time a man gets to choose, you that he chose you, if he does not have respect for you and he needs somebody to tell him how to treat you, right? Why do you think that you getting another person to talk to that man will change anything about the man's behavior?
That has always perplexed me. And they even use it to preach in church. You marrying a man that logic doesn't appeal to, just common human decency doesn't appeal to him. Fear is the only language he can speak and understand. Why would I be looking for such a man? People would ask me things like, is there not somebody that he respects? Maybe a pastor that is older than him, that is something. And I'm like, shouldn't I be the one deserving of his respect? Any respect he has for any human being, shouldn't he respect me more? The woman he sleeps with,
That's
the woman
the thing.
that gave him his children,
the woman that cooks and he eats. Even if he's driven by fear, let's even assume he's driven by fear and it is normal for, let's even assume it's normal for a man should be driven by fear. The woman who gives him food to eat, who he sleeps next to, should he not be more fearful of that woman? Because at least she has the power to do and undo. And you think somebody who, if he decides to block the person, hi Johnny, if he blocks the person, that automatically removes the person from their life. You think it is that person that he will fear enough for him to treat you well because you spoke to the person. All these pastors who tell you that, oh, people came to them for marriage counseling, right? Exactly. All these people that they say people came to them, they had conversations, and then everything became okay, like the relationship got fixed. They are lying to you. That woman either just realized that it doesn't matter who she runs to for help, the man is never going to change, and she gave up. So she tapped out of the relationship.
I've heard a pastor tell me once too. They were like, oh, I can't remember the exact numbers, but they said something like, oh, we've counseled like 6 couples like that before. 2 didn't work out. but at least the remaining 4, they are doing a whole lot better now. I now asked, I said, according to who? They are doing better according to who? That if you see them in church and you say, how is everything? And they are like, oh, Chi, thank you. And they're like, oh, everything is fine now. It could be because they don't, if they tell you that it's still not fine, they know that you will call them to another meeting. And they're probably already tired. So they're just going to tell you that, oh, everything is fine, everything is resolved now, because they just don't even want to deal with it again. And she didn't say anything because she had
Thank you,
not
Mom Pesh.
considered that.
Exactly.
She had not considered the fact that those that she thought were doing fine might actually not be doing fine. People are always surprised when they ask me that, oh, did you report your husband to the church? I'm like, no, it never even crossed my mind. I didn't even bother with that because I knew nothing good was even
Nothing
going
good
on.
will come out of it. Somebody who, like, for instance, your husband now, Ola, that's somebody who in that church itself, he's the person people would report their own to. He's supposed to be the reasonable one that people will report their own to.
I said both of us will go to church members' house to go and help husband and wife every corner. Then we'll go back home. I'll go and chop my own breakfast. I'll go and see my own shit the very same day. The very same day. So who will I be reporting to? Imagine Femi Lazarus' wife now coming out to say that man is abusing her. Do you know he doesn't even need to defend himself? All these women worshiping him online are the ones that are going to crucify his wife.
Exactly.
And be like, that woman is a liar. It's now that her husband is successful, she's just trying to take half of his money. Like, Femi Lazarus would not need to defend himself. People will crucify that woman because they will not believe that that man can abuse anybody. So that was the situation I found myself in.
And these people lie with their chests. They lie with their chest.
We have more successful weddings than we have successful marriages.
What if she's lying? So is there anybody that will sit down in a position where she's happy, she's comfortable, the marriage is okay, that will just jump up and decide, oh, let me just go and lie so that people will crucify this man that I married? He said we have more successful weddings. Are the weddings not supposed to be successful? I mean, I paid money for it. How much am I paying for the marriage? I paid money for people to do it for me. How much am I paying for the marriage? Smart, you're very opposite. Your name, you and your name, una no dey tally. The opposite of your name is true to you.
Smart C, what did you do that made God give you a dumb brain? What did you do? Why was God so unkind to you to give you a brain that is useless like this?
Good question. Johnny.
Dolapo, he came here for attention. He's a lost soul. And as women, we are nurturers. So sometimes we still give them the attention they crave because we care. Because we care.
Imagine naming a child Smart and the person is now embarrassing the name in public. Even men. Oh, this one is new here. If you've been on my live before, you know that the most intelligent man I find stupid. So don't flatter yourself, even if you agree with me. Most intelligent person. It is impossible for you to be intelligent. I'm telling you, Deb.
We have more successful weddings. Every Saturday there are successful weddings that make it to the blogs, make it to the Insta blog, all those blogs and all that. Why? Because those people are practicing the principles of success. The average young girl has pictures, clippings of how her wedding dress will look, of how her cake will look.
Do you know this man's misogyny does not even hide though? This man does not hide his misogyny. He's very proud of it. He talks about it proudly. He's not ashamed of being a misogynist. He's not. And that's the funny thing. He's not even hiding his own. But for some reason, women still don't catch it. And there are still women in his ministry. The wife's internalized misogyny is also not hidden.
The thing I've noticed about church is that the closer you are to misogyny, the closer you are to God. Do you get?
Yeah.
And that's the reason why. That's the reason why they would see Christians will see Monpesh thanks. Christians will see people like Oroko, Arome Osai, David Oyedepo, who else again? They will see those people as more spiritual compared to someone like Pastor Bolaji. Of course, I don't have any regard for Bolaji, right? But it is all of them. But the more pronounced their misogyny is, the more they are perceived as
spiritual,
anointed and more spiritual, right? Like the ones like Bolaji, they are like jokers. They are like, oh, this one is celebrity pastor, because not that it's not misogynistic, but at least he doesn't present it as boldly, right? He still tries to sugarcoat it to keep his kind of audience coming to his church. But nobody, if we are naming highly anointed pastors, nobody's going to be counting him among that number. So the proximity to God, to anointing, to all these things, directly correlates with the degree of misogyny.
Exactly. Because if you look at what they even preach and what makes them Christian, you will see a man who is married and he will tell you he prays for 20 something hours a day and he's so proud of it. That's a man with a family, right? That's a man that has a family. And he will tell you that his wife even knows that he does not have time like that. So his wife is very understanding. So he has to be with God. He has to do all those things.
Why is that kind of man married? Because I don't really care how many hours a day you pray, but why? You don't have to be married. You don't have to.
But they need to fulfill their own. They need to find somebody who, if a lot of these women, if they know that they are married to these men and these men are just using them the way you will use a, I don't want to call the name, but an sex toy, and then the sex toy is also able to have children and do things, yeah, to just fulfill the selfish part of their lives. They just marry not just for status, right? They marry so that woman just, yeah, who need, you just need somebody to help you do some of the work. It's just like employing a PA, really. It's like employing a PA. That's how these people marry. Yeah, for supply. Beautiful. That's the word. They marry for supply. And that is some of your major pastors that we adore, that people adore and look at.
They are tired of burning. And Paul said, rather than burn, they should marry.
Exactly.
So Now they are married. Now they don't have to eat bread and akara. They have someone that will be making homemade meals for them every day. They have someone that will be suiting their yeye ego.
Yeah, and somebody to be
And
sleeping with them as well to drain their tank.
Mhm.
And I will show you
And
guys
leave them
one video
children
that
that will
proves
look
this
like
thing that
them.
I'm saying, right? Even they themselves, they know that they marry for those reasons. Young Love said that, do you know how many times I begged and cried to the church that I was abused? They kept saying forgive. We have people like Pastor Bolaji, Pastor Femi Lazarus, who say they are into therapy, right? Is the therapy part of church? This man gathers women will come on his show and talk about their problem. At the end of the day, what solution do you see that he's giving them? At the end of the day, is that forgiveness that they will tell them you must learn to heal. Oh, this guy, if you even know anything, if you've even been to therapy at all, I'm not even talking about somebody who is a professional therapist or anything. If you've been to therapy or you've read anything about counseling, the last thing you will know to tell somebody is that heal. Anytime you want to know that somebody is dumb or stupid in the aspect of therapy or knowing how psychological and emotional abuse works, or abuse works, you will know that the last thing to tell the person as an advice is to tell somebody to heal. That's like, that just shows your level of ignorance to tell somebody that you need to heal. Oh, because he literally has a message where he come, women, before you marry, you need to heal. Oh, you need to heal. You need to heal. Oh, heal from what? Heal from what? And healing does not happen like that. So what exactly is he saying? You don't wake up and say, okay, I need to heal, let me just heal because I need to heal. The church does not have any resources to give you, Young Love. There is no resources, because don't forget that within this same church, the church also says the person who is abusing you, God is interested in their soul, right? The moment you understand that the church promotes that even the person abusing you, God is interested in the person's soul. And that's what helped me to, hi Florence, that's what helped me to dismantle the concept of forgiveness. If God is interested in the person's soul, you should know that there is no justice that God is going to give you. At the end of the day, you're just going to have to forgive the person.
Another interesting thing I heard was it is for this purpose that God brought you into
His life, exactly.
God knows that he needs help. He needs help with all these things, and that is the role you are supposed to play in his life as his helpmate.
Okay, Florence, you're welcome. We are discussing the abuse in church and all the harmful messages that they preach in church, and we're just pretty much analyzing some videos. You're welcome.
And some of these things I'm sharing with you are just the things I heard in my own situation, right? I have heard worse things from other women. I've heard a woman tell me that they told her that even if your husband unalives you, at least you will be with Jesus.
Somebody said that to my sister who was being her. Even she herself, she said that. She said, even if you unalive in the process, if the man you marry unalives you, that at least, even if, because I was asking her when she was saying, I was like, divorce is an option. She said divorce is not an option. That the Bible, God said God hates divorce. And I'm like, so if the person if the person cheats and the person gets infected with HIV and gives you HIV, God is also, she was like, at the end of the day, it is not how you feel that it is not how you feel that it is not how you feel that matters, right? It is, your feeling does not matter. It is what it is what God wants that matters. So at the end of the day, if you're no more and you pass, you go to you make heaven. So you're doing the will of God, so it doesn't matter. You guys, if men's behavior does not give you a headache like this, nothing will do. There's one on my YouTube here that is just funny. He's asking me if I'm a Christian. I didn't answer him, so he's like, I should stop talking too much and answer questions. And he's telling me there's only one God. Anyway, let's see the next video.
Men want sex, women want to make love. So women enjoy the process of making love, which is different. It's like what PT said, setting the mood, touching her, playing with her. You know, I dealt with that in that book, How to Make Love to a Woman Without Touching Her. The way to do it, there are a lot of things you need to do. So sometimes most times the woman wants making love. But for men, most times men want sex. You know, there are two different things. Yes, he just wants to really.
These are some of the way that these are some of the way that they prepare women for abuse within the church, right? These are some of the way that they prepare women for abuse.
It's a physical thing to him. The woman enjoys that. You want me. You are into me. You know, we're looking into each other's eyes and we are kissing gently. We're not rushing to the end of the point. Women enjoy that. For men, that is also a sacrifice because we are project driven. We want to go right to the.
Sorry, you guys, I'll still play it. I'm just laughing because of this guy. Wait, please. He said that I want them to. Just hold on first. There's somebody on YouTube here. So I think the person is Muslim also. He's trying to attack me and he's telling me that there is only one God. That if God loves kids, why would he have only one? And why would he let him buy the way you guys say Jesus died? So they cannot even stay 5 minutes to understand what's going on. No? Like, guy.
End of the matter. The issue is that for a couple to be happy, both people need to be showing up for each other. So there are days I know my wife needs the full works and not just, how do you say, one bam, thank you, ma'am. But there are days she knows I don't have strength for the full works. I just need to get to the end of the journey. So one.
Mildred is suffering now. Jesus.
So I just wish the people who were here yesterday that were telling us that day before yesterday, it was on Friday, that were telling us that how did we know that these women are being abused? Do you get? Jacqueline, hi.
This guy has the energy. Same entire group. He has the energy. He's able to do that. But for him to please his wife, the woman that he has vowed to love and care for and cherish,
is a sacrifice.
For him to please her is too much of a sacrifice for him.
Is a sacrifice. I don't know if men don't know that women don't necessarily enjoy what do they call it? I'm trying to keep this PG. Do men know that women don't necessarily enjoy penetration? But the fact that he's trying to please her, he believes that he's doing some form of a sacrifice. He believes he's doing a sacrifice. So he's telling you here that some days he does not want any of those things served. He just wants to go straight to the point. And he's telling he just wants to go straight to the point. That his wife knows. He's talking about his experience. So it's his experience he's talking about, and he said his wife knows. Exactly. It's similar to what Vicky James and her husband came out to do, that their suspect challenge. And the annoying thing is, if we begin to analyze this thing, they will say, what's our business? We are choking. We too, we are on our own before you brought your conversation on our FYP.
Thing that is constant in our own home is that we are always showing up for each other with a good attitude.
See the manipulation. You guys need to understand. I think I made a video. I don't know if I posted that video, right? I'm not sure I've posted it, but it's supposed to be on my YouTube. It's about coercion. There's abuse that it is. There are certain things that is, okay, yeah, I think I mentioned that in that video where I was talking about submission. There is abuse by like there's an abuse that is like overt, and then there's a coercive form of abuse. It's similar to this thing. This is RAPE. I don't know if you guys know that this thing this man is preaching and he's saying that they just want to go straight to the point is RAPE. It's just by means of coercion. Like, it is not physical coercion, but mentally they are coercing the person. Emotionally they are coercing you to do that. Listen carefully to what this guy said. My network is misbehaving. Can you guys hear the audio? If you can hear, let me know. Can you hear what he's saying clearly?
Can hear.
Yeah.
There's a woman that, even though they're doing something for you, okay, just come. I know you. Just do your thing. This is why you just do. No, just come. With a horrible attitude. You know, again, it's anti-covenant to do. Have you ever seen God do anything for you with an attitude? Say, I just.
So even when you even agree, you need to put on a smile, even when you don't want it. Exactly, coercive abuse. Even when you don't want it, you should put a good attitude. You should not do it with an attitude. So this gives you insight to the realities of this woman's marriage. This person that you guys are excited and doing, oh, I stand, is the standard of marriage. It is kingdom marriage. These people's marriage is the kingdom marriage. This is the kingdom marriage. This is what kingdom marriage is that they are telling you about. The only thing they need to do to get that woman to do that and not think she's being abused is for them to tell her that it is God that made me choose you. God said I should marry you. We are having kingdom marriage. It is God's plan. They only needed to add the word God to cement whatever it is, so she cannot think critically again. And they even think that if any day that they even try to do anything and give her something and do something for her to feel pleasure as well, they are doing her a favor. Does this guy know that women also, there are days they don't want mushy love. They just want to go straight. He doesn't even think. See, women will be liberated the day that men understand that women are human beings, right? If we both understand that we are both human beings and the only thing that makes us different is our organs and then reproductive organs. Tolulokwe, we are using Amazon order because we cannot necessarily tell you what Amazon order means, right?
Silly adults. That one is a story for another day. That man you are listening to.
Who is that?
I would rather be pastored by the devil.
Silly adult. I didn't even get that comment. I had to go back to see. Maybe on another day when we analyze that one's behavior. Now only you know. Kiola, hi. So these people
Giving you oxygen, no. It's anti-covenant. So if you're going to do something for your husband or wife, never do it with that attitude that no. Be joyful, be happy that you have the opportunity of being a blessing to somebody's life.
be joyful, be happy that you have the opportunity. Yeah, we cannot do that on today's life, right? But we've talked about him before in the past. But another day we can talk about him.
She 10112. I bet you are married to one of the good men.
He said you should be happy that you're being a blessing to somebody. So, and you know the annoying thing with a lot of women who are in these kingdom marriages, one thing with their reality is that even when this man does not know how to do anything, a lot of them do not enjoy. They don't know anything about sex pleasure. Like a lot of them have never enjoyed it. Do you understand? Because these men are not even, imagine a man who, this man is not an sex therapist, but he's coming here to teach men, to teach people, and to teach men also to talk about sex. He's not a professional, right? And I don't even believe that you should be roaming about trying to learn. The only way to learn sex is from the person you are having it with, that partner of yours. That is, learn the person. You're learning the person's body, but instead of you to talk to the person, you've gathered yourselves for this man to teach you, to teach you what he and his wife are doing. And they've made what he and his wife are doing a doctrine. They've made it the standard. The only person you should be having this conversation with is with the person. But these women cannot have this conversation with these men, because these men will begin to judge them. These men will judge them. And these men, a lot of them don't know anything. They don't know how to do anything. They don't know, and they cannot learn because they have pride. So the woman cannot even tell them anything. And they will come out and tell you they have kingdom marriage. Why? Because sometimes she just allows him to go, and then she joyfully allows him to go straight to the point without trying to pleasure her as well. Yeah, ego will not let them learn. Exactly. And do you know what it means that somebody allows you to just go without any form? It will definitely be painful.
Kausa, she's actually a two. These women are still deceiving themselves, thinking they married them because of love. They are actually tools.
Let's play another video. Amaka, you feel so much guilt for decentering something that is harmful to you. If you were to be drinking something like, let's say you're drinking water from battery, will you feel guilty for realizing that that water from battery is harmful to you, and you stop drinking it, and you're trying to vomit the one that you drank? Will you feel guilty? Will you feel guilty for doing that?
What does Chi 10112 mean about women don't look before they leap? We are talking about SEX. So explain to us what you mean by looking before leaping, because you people will say we should not do sex before marriage. You are also now telling us that we are not looking before leaping. How do we look before we leap? Or Abi Mildred too did not look before she leaped.
And you know, she was there just smiling. The lady was just there smiling.
If used to write that nonsense, facilitate and give to the poor. When you see arguments on tithing, on giving, it's no real kingdom citizen is worrying about giving something to God. Never. The God you're talking about gave his best to you. You can never outgive him. Even the thing they say you give, he first gave you the thing. David says, out of what you have given us that want to even pretend to give you so inside. So no real kingdom person is arguing this thing. And you see the jokers that even say these things, they have no issue with spending billions on alcohol. I've never seen them do a post. Now, why should somebody buy an expensive alcohol in a club? Never. They have no issue with somebody wasting their money in a club, but they have issue. They want to debate. Most of you know our Papa Bishop when God did the 70th birthday a few days ago. I think I saw pictures and videos and I heard that two people bought him Rosewood. And there are still some people that came to write, oh, this money should have been given to the poor. Now, it's jokers. They are teenagers and 20-something-year-olds that are musicians singing nonsense. What they're singing has no benefit to anybody's eternal salvation. They don't have more than that, those kind of cars.
The noise even overshadowed the video? This one is not even my expertise or something I like to talk about. I just wanted you guys to know, to hear when Ola said Oyedepo and the rest. At the end of the day, they are the same person, right? And also to help silly adults that said the only person she listens to is Paul and Enche, because these people are the same. They are the same. They are the same.
You know, in this our job, we are the ones also praying for people to marry. But nowadays, I can tell you, the amount of marriable or marriageable women have incredibly reduced. I don't know if it's social media thing or what it is. Nowadays, it's rare to really find it. You know, that was right, that who can find a virtuous woman?
Sorry, before I continue, this question that Adam said is very important, right? She's like, I'm curious, do you go to church for other reasons like community building? At first, even me at a point when I stopped going, I felt like I wanted to just go for community building. But you're building a community with people who are not trying to build a community with you. Do you understand? You may not agree with what they are saying there, and you feel like you're just there for the companionship, the community and all, right? But those people are not looking for a community, and so you are eventually going to end up hurt, because you will end up arguing with those people and you will end up being irritated all the time, right? So if you are not looking for you can't build a community with people who are not trying to build a community with you. The thing with religious people is that the only time they bind together, the only time they come together, they are coming because of that one common goal that they have. So if you don't agree with the goal that they say that is what is bringing them together, they excommunicate you. I also miss the going there, seeing people, hanging out with people and all that. But the idea of hanging out and building community is to hang out with good people who you share similar values. But if you don't share the same values with those people, you're eventually going to just end up having a drift. And you will end up getting hurt. All right, let's continue.
Chi 101 says you can't draw a conclusion on all men. Do you realize that this is not a gathering of single women? There are married women in our midst, but none of them is here trying to advertise their husband as a wonderful man. None of them is here trying to say not all men. It's only you. And why are you triggered by what is going on here? Because if you are married to a wonderful man that makes you feel good and all these things, you will just be upset at what Kingsley Okonkwo is saying. You will not be like, it's not all men now, you can't draw conclusion. This attitude of being defensive, of trying to be like, but there are some really, really good men out there. It makes me suspicious. It makes me think you are having the same experience as Mildred Okonkwo. Do you get? It makes me want to hold your hand and be like, my love, are you okay? It makes me want to feel like you are in some kind of pain. And there's something here tricky. Because I feel like women who do this, they think they are communicating to other women that they made the right choice and they are enjoying them. But you are actually communicating the opposite. You are communicating the opposite. We are here talking about how a man's teaching is harmful and the fact that he's teaching it to other men and how it harms women. But you are talking about you can't draw a conclusion on all men. People have to look before they leap. This one, it tells me that all is not well in your own marriage. That's what you are communicating to us. Women think they are communicating that they have a better marriage when they talk like that, but you are actually communicating the opposite. There are women here who are happily married. They don't say this kind of things that you are saying. But if you need help, you can be helped. Timmy can coach you. I will not volunteer because I'm just... please continue.
The issue is that telling women that not all men is like telling not every snake is poisonous, but no matter how much you look, you will not know which snake is poisonous, right? So every woman who hears us talk knows that there are men who may not be poisonous, may not, emphasis on may, but they still have it in them to be that way. These things we are addressing as systems. We are addressing systems. We are not necessarily talking about our experiences. We are not talking about our experiences. We are addressing systems. So even that snake that you think is poisonous, is not poisonous, right? It still has the capacity to be poisonous. So even when we say not all men, even as you're saying not all men, that man that you think you found that is not one of them, he still has the capacity. As long as he's a man, he has the capacity to do it. Exactly. So we're talking about the foundations. It's not personal experiences, right? So I don't like it when people are like not all men, because the safest of men, as long as he's a man, he has the capacity to be unsafe. So it's more like men are literally fighting themselves to be normal. They are fighting day and night, right? For them to act normal. Accept Jesus for serious love. How much will you pay for me to accept him? I'm collecting money to accept. And I'm collecting cheap money. Send me $100. I will accept. Exactly. Tofumi, I'm just even seeing this. How much I can promote Jesus? I take promotions, so I can do promotions. How much? Send me a DM.
I don't need Jesus. I don't need Jesus to promote me to God. Me and God, we are pals. We hang out. We
Me,
talk.
I can use my platform to promote Jesus, but then somebody has to pay me. That's the thing. So if you pay me, I will do the promotion videos.
She 101 to see those
Ola,
women
please just leave her. It's time.
those women,
Gradually.
those women whose husbands are
Nana, I'm
beating
happy.
their than some women whose husbands are not beating. Those women are luckier than Mildred because at least they know they are being abused.
Accept Jesus. Me, I don't mind though. Me, I say pay me, and you will see wonders. You will see the way I will start preaching wonders here. Everything na money. Even that Holy Spirit you're preaching about, bring money. I will tell them how to use the Holy Spirit. Let's continue with the video. Abi, was I even saying anything?
In this our job, we are the ones also praying for people to marry. But nowadays, I can tell you, the amount of marriable or marriageable women have incredibly reduced. I don't know if it's a social media thing or what it is. Nowadays, it's rare to really find it. You know, that was right, that who can find a virtuous woman. They didn't say beautiful woman. There are many beautiful women. Beautiful women everywhere. It's virtuous women that discuss. That was right. Who can find? For you see a woman now that is virtuous, just check their Instagram. You will see the profile of Jesus.
Emmanuel, I did on my own. Oh. Did I mention Jesus here? I was on my own. It's one of you that came and said I should use my platform to promote Jesus. And I said he should pay. I would promote. He should bring the money. So I don't understand what you're saying. That you guys should be careful the way you talk about Jesus. You can crack jokes with anything but not Christ. I'm not joking. Even you want pay me, I will promote. It's not even a joke. I'm not saying it as a joke. I'm not saying it as a joke.
When you check the post, nothing about Jesus and nothing about baby. God's lover girl, God's last child, all kinds of.
Let's start this video afresh.
You know, in this our job, we are the ones also praying for people to marry. But nowadays, I can tell you, the amount of marriable or marriageable women have incredibly reduced. I don't know if it's a social media thing or what it is. Nowadays, it's rare to really find it. You know, that was right, that who can find a virtuous woman.
These men are literally looking for the kind of women that suffered. They are looking for their mothers. The suffering that their mothers went through, the suffering their grandmothers went through. That is what they call virtue. That is what they call virtue. Women who are doormats. That is what they are looking for.
Why is he on Instagram checking out single women?
Exactly.
That's what I want to know.
They said the number of marriageable women, he said the number of marriageable women have dropped drastically. See, if I am a man, let me tell you something, right? These men don't, the way they tell you, oh, if men are looking for who to marry, they look for virtue, is a lie, oh. Is a lie. Men marry for the most craziest reasons that you can imagine. Do you understand? And then even the men that they say they are marrying and having success in marriages, right? These men don't do anything to think about who they are marrying. A man can marry you because you're beautiful. A man can marry you just because he wants to marry and you are the one that is available to be married. But they don't struggle, they don't get abused, they don't struggle the way women struggle in marriages. Why? You see me, so if I was a man, even if na I shower, I feel marry her, because I know that women, any woman can make a good wife as long as you are a responsible man. Women don't even ask for too much from men. Oh. Women don't even ask for too much from men. they don't ask for too much from men. Do you know there are women who are in relationships, who are in marriages with a man just because the man can provide food? At least if they bring money for food and rent, at least if they pay children school fees, may I feel they handle the rest. There are men who are married and that is the reason their wife think they are wonderful husbands. My sister once told me one day that daddy, even this her husband a better man, oh, because he pays his children's school fees. And that makes him a wonderful man. Women are not looking for anything from men.
Somebody told us about how wonderful her husband is, and the example she gave was that before they started having children, her husband started learning how he would beat their babies. And the way he started learning how he would beat their babies when they arrive is to beat her. They started practicing. Her husband would shower her. Timmy, you forgot it.
Yes,
her husband would shower her.
Her
husband will shower her, would be beating her ass.
Is it my network?
I'll get me.
Yeah, the husband will bait her because he's practicing how to bait their children. It's all I talking. All I can't hear you.
Is it? Can anyone?
Can you hear me?
He would be able to beat the babies when the babies arrive was by
I don't know what's going on. I can't even hear. I can't hear Ola anymore.
Really? Even now, you can't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, so she didn't even realize that she was giving the man pleasure by having him do that. Jesus Christ.
It's virtuous women that discuss. That was right. Who can find? Before you see a woman now that is virtuous, just check their Instagram. You will see the profile of Jesus baby. When you check the post, nothing about Jesus and nothing about baby. God's lover girl, God's last child, all kinds of profile. By the time you start seeing the picture, nudity, alcoholism, nightclub, no virtue anymore. You can't even perceive anything spiritual from their post. 70 pictures, all your picture of your face.
You are a pastor and you went through 70 pictures of another woman.
Your whole life revolves around you and your beauty. And this was a woman thing they're bringing to the table. Their beauty. Marriage was very easy for me because I was already in service before I met my wife. She can serve hundreds of children. Serving one person. Small do. But you see, we have people that are not used to service.
Did you guys see how this guy, he can serve thousands of people, and she can serve hundreds of children? See how he just denigrated her, like, see the way he just reduced her for that conversation, like, quickly. See the way he just reduced her. He can serve thousands of people, she can serve hundreds of people, and just to serve one person, nothing is there. Are they really serving thousands of people?
Notice how he serves people and she serves children. You know, children are not people. And And this guy, while he's busy serving thousands of people, he finds it degrading to sweep the house in which he lives in. Because he has said that before. That someone like him sweeping for what? So it's okay for him to serve thousands of people, but for you to expect him to sweep the house that he lives in, it's like you've dishonored him.
And he said if she can serve hundreds of children, only one person. So, and let me read this Proverbs 31 for you guys, so that you can see how that Proverbs Tofumi Oloju Kokoro, so that you guys can see how that woman is an abused woman, and that is the woman that religious men use as the yardstick of what a woman should be. Religion just prepares you for abuse. These are the wise sayings of King Lemuel of Massa, taught to him at his mother's knee. O my son, whom I have dedicated to the Lord, do not spend your time with women, the royal pathway to destruction. And it is not for kings or old Lemuel to drink wine and whiskey, for if they drink, they may forget their duties. Let me just go straight to the okay. It starts from verse 10, right? If you can find a truly good woman, she is worthy more than precious gems. Her husband can trust her. He can trust her. And she will richly, listen, she will richly satisfy his needs. So you can see what this guy said in the previous video, right? That even when his wife is a virtuous woman, because even when she's not interested, right, she would joyfully surrender herself to him, to just go straight to the point. In the previous video, you can see the relationship with the abuse and all. She will surrender herself joyfully, right? Tofumi, and for him to go straight to the point. She will richly satisfy his needs. She will not hinder him, right? So you can see what he said in the previous video. She will not hinder him, but help him all her life. So all the days of your life, then born you to come help man. You will help him she will help him all her life. You guys need to hear, because women fantasize about being a Proverbs 31 woman, and they even pray about it. A woman will sit down and be praying to be a Proverbs 31 woman, right? You will sit down and you're praying to be a Proverbs 31 woman. Exactly. Or who can find? Say she will not hinder him, but help him all her life. She finds wool and flax and busily spins it. She provides her own clothing. She provides her own clothing. She buys imported food brought by ship from distant ports. She is a provider. Right? She's a provider. She gets up early before dawn to prepare breakfast for her household and plans the day's work for her servant girls. She goes out to inspect a field and buys it. So she's a businesswoman. With her own hands, she plants a vineyard. She is energetic, a hard worker, and watches for bargains. They are talking about her business. She works far into the night. Don't forget that they said she wakes up very early before dawn, and she works far into the night. See the level of wickedness that they package. Right? They packaged this wickedness and made it appealing to women. and women are chewing it, and one idiot is here trying to preach to you about the same thing. You will sleep late and wake up very early. And this is the typical life of almost every married woman with children. But even at that, they are still telling you that it is not enough. They are still telling you that women of these days, the same women, I see women on TikTok here, like taking example, mommy, what's her name? Is it mommy Reina or something? I see the way this woman takes care of her children and her family. Those are the women of this generation. Oh. I see mommy WhatsApp. There's one boy cook with Rena. Aside from that Rena, there's one other boy. I see the way they take care of their family. Yet men have mouth to say women of this generation are not virtuous. There's one other one that has a boy child. There's one that has a boy that cooks. She cooks for the boy. She does excellent meals. Sometimes if I see their videos like this, I will just watch because they are really putting in the work. But these men don't have respect for women like that. They are still saying the women of this generation don't have virtue. Yeah, Mommy Zion and plenty other women. There's this Rasta man. She does not even have kids yet, but the way she wakes up early to even cook for her husband to go to work every day. We have women displaying those things on social media, but they still say women of this generation don't have virtue. Was it not recently that Mommy Zia Madam Zia what one lady that Twitter men gathered money for thinking they are shaming feminists? We're even happy that they even helped empower that woman that said she wakes up by 4 to cook for her husband. I'm happy that they even out of their own foolishness they empowered the woman. Yeah.
I'm even blown away what some women do for their husbands.
I'm telling you.
I am blown away. I have a friend who works full time. She has 2 young kids. She works full time in this Canada where you don't have house help or anything. She works a full-time job, and she's also in school. She's also in nursing school. I don't know if you guys know how demanding nursing school is.
Yeah.
So she's in school and she's working full time, and she has 2 young kids. And she's still the one that does all the cooking, all the grocery shopping, packs her husband's lunch to take to work. I will just be looking at her when I go visit her like, if not me, I could just faint. Even when I was single with no kids, going to nursing school, I come home exhausted. And I had to cut work down to part-time.
I'm live.
What they are calling virtue is not actually virtue. It's just for you
to suffer.
To be subservient. To be subservient to them, to suffer, that is the virtue.
Let's even continue. This
kind of Kingsley, the only reason his wife has maybe nannies or whatever is so that she can travel with him and they can be preaching this rubbish up and down and be making money. If not for that, he's like the kind of guy that will not let his wife get house help for her to show her virtue.
Let's continue. They said she sews like make clothes for the poor and generously gives to the needy. She has no fear of winter for her household, for she has made warm clothes for all of them. Now, one person they do all this work. She also upholsters with finest tapestry. Her own clothing is beautifully made, right? Her own clothes say that Proverbs 4:19. Her own clothes is beautifully made, a purple gown of pure linen. They are even trying to make her to put herself in a way that she will still be attractive to this man. In no end there, she still has to attract this man. Her husband is well known, for he sits in the council chamber with the other civic leaders, right? So when these men are describing what marriage should be for you and tell you that you should be submissive while he leads, this is what he means. This is what they mean. With the other civic leaders, she makes belted linen garments to sell to the merchants. She is a woman of strength and dignity and has no fear of old age. She has no fear of old age. I would have loved to read another translation, but 3 of my phones are busy here. When she speaks, her words are wise, and kindness is the rule for everything she says. She watches carefully all that goes on throughout her household. So she's also still the spectator, the protector of her household, and is never lazy. See, they can even get me with all these things that are so close for your family. I can do that. Do this one, I can do that. This one that they say she's never lazy, na there I wash hand comot. Na there I wash hand comot, because I cannot do without being lazy. Her children stand and bless her. So in case you're hearing men telling you how much they love their mother because of how she struggled and suffered for them, right? This is what they mean. When you see somebody struggling and doing all these things, you have it in you to bless them, even if they are not doing it for you. This is what they call love that they have for their mothers. Her children stand and bless her, so does her husband. He praises her with these words. Do you guys remember Mommy Z's husband praising her? There are many fine women in the world, but you are the best of them all. How you no go say she be the best? Na she be provider, na she be protector, na she be nurse, na she be tailor, na she be every job you can think of in the world. She's the one. She's the therapist. That's why I like this song. All day, every day therapist, mother maid, nymph, virgin, whatever. Right? She be cleaner, everything, caregiver, everything you can think of. She's the one. Right? She's the engineer, everything. Thank you, class captain. There are many fine women in the world, but you are the best of them all. So as we get angry with Kingsley Okonkwo, and some people will come on this life and say that these people are just twisting the Bible to favor them. This man literally is saying exactly what the Bible said. He's being exact with what the Bible said. Did he not just say he's not talking about beauty? There are fine women, but a virtuous woman. Charm can be deceptive and beauty doesn't last, but a woman who fears and reverence God shall be greatly praised. So a woman who does all of these things is the woman who fears and reverence God. That is the standard of fearing and reverencing God. Praise her for the many fine things she does. These good deeds of hers shall bring her honor and recognition from even the leaders of the nations. So if you are a woman, if you guys are wondering why Kamala Harris lost election, it is because she's not a virtuous woman. And even if she were to be a virtuous woman, she will not still lead. The highest is that it will give her recognition among leaders of nations. That is the Proverbs 31 that this man, it doesn't matter, oh. It doesn't matter who Trump is, oh. Any man is a virtuous man. He drinks, he alcohols, he's a grapist, he's a whatever, he is a virtuous man. His virtue is in the fact that he's a man. He's born a man, he's born with virtue. Do you understand? A man is considered born with virtue. What did I touch you? He's born with virtue.
But a praying fervent is a marriage. A marriage is service. So they get into marriage, they get in.
Thank you, Dija. That marriage is service. You don't need any marriage lessons. Marriage is not service. It's just a relationship. If you don't think your friendship is a service, marriage is not service. It's just another relationship. Exactly. Service to who?
Now, they can't do the verb. They can't serve my husband. We both came back from work. That's what you say. What do you say I do?
Did you guys hear what this man said? We both came back from work. I can't serve my husband. We both came back from work. That is what you signed up for when you said I do.
It's what they ask you, do you want to do?
That is what they asked you if you want to do. These people lie. How many, when you're taking vows, did you take that vow? Right? I did. Nobody asked me that.
Let's even assume that you enter marriage to serve the other person. Isn't it interesting that after you come back from work, you still have to serve him, but he cannot serve his wife in bed?
Exactly. Laura said, so is there any benefit of marriage for women? This is what they expect of you, and this is the mediocre that they are giving you. So it's left for you to decide whether or not there's benefit for it for you. If you think serving a man is benefit for you, then you go ahead and make that decision.
So for this man to please his wife in bed is too much work.
And it is sacrifice.
It is like somebody putting razor blade in his skin. It is painful. It is serious sacrifice. But for you to come back from a whole day's work and start preparing his food and stuff, that is just supposed to be what you signed up for.
That is what you signed up for. So tell me the difference between this man that they tell you that, oh, there was one idiot here earlier saying, oh, when the thing is to marry a God-fearing man. That Jesus Christ, whatever guy, somebody that was here earlier, that Ola muted. Marry a God-fearing man, and then the solution is to marry a God-fearing man. This is a God-fearing man, and there's no difference between this and a guy who will go and pray in Ahmadiyya has Shrine and come back. They are preaching the same thing. When you marry them, the result is the same. The result is the same. That traditional man that you marry that you think is wicked and you're angry because you did not marry a born-again man, this is a born-again man, and this is what he's telling you, that this should be what this is what marriage should be. Chineye is asking me what is the solution. You will have to deduce that solution yourself. Oh. Why do you want to marry? Why do you want to marry? That's what I want to know. Why do you want to marry? That's where the solution. Let's go over the solution. Why do you want to marry? Type it in the comment section so that we'll talk about it. Why do you feel the need to marry? And then what do you want out of marriage?
We say if you eat feces, you will get sick. You now say, what is the solution?
What is the solution?
The solution is when somebody is feeding you with the feces, refuse to eat it. That's how you will not get sick. It's that simple.
I just even want to know, why do you want to marry? Just tell me why you want to marry. Because you want a partner, a lover, someone to do life with. But they are telling you here now that you're not getting a partnership. If you are religious, this is what this man is saying. you are not getting a partnership, you're getting somebody who you will serve. Do you get? They said that marriage is not about love, it is about service. Did he not just say it's about service? They just defined what it is for you, and if you believe them, this is what it is. Joa said, I got married for love. If you want marriage for love, look for somebody who is genuinely looking for love too. She said, I once visited a close friend. All the time I stayed there, the husband cooked throughout. Yeah.
Now do if you don't want to do. Service. Service. Two people serving each other. I see some
Kiola said, to me, marriage is partnership and friendship. I believe so, but unfortunately, you're not marrying you. That's where the question is. So, to the person, is marriage partnership and friendship to the person? She said, if you have someone with a good conscience and will always put you first. You guys, let me even tell you something. I don't want anybody to put me first. I don't want you to put me first. Put us, put our relationship, put us, put you and I. It's about you and I. It's not just about me.
people so self-centered, so selfish. They can't straight look out for somebody that is serving selflessly. That's what to love.
This man is talking about marriage, and when he talks about, he's talking about marriage, but when he's talking about marriage, he's talking about it when he's talking about service, right, in marriage. When he is talking about the service that he does, right, he's talking about the one he does in his ministry. He's talking about the service that he's serving people. But when he's talking about the service for his wife, he's talking about what she has to do in the house, right? He's saying he serves selflessly. He serves thousands of people selflessly in the ministry. His wife serves, like when he's talking about women, is in service to your husband.
Yeah, because that is how, as a wife, that is how you work for God, by serving your husband who is serving
God.
Okay. Yeah. So that's how you do God's work, by serving the man of God who is serving the thousands of people.
Allah Potter, hi.
Not the person that is so self-centered. Everything about their life is them. They can't.
This man has proven he's a self-centered person 10 times here. Somebody who his wife must keep quiet for him to go straight to the point, and him doing anything for her to get pleasure is also sacrifice. It's painful sacrifice that he's doing. He's talked about how his wife serves him. He's talked about how they will go to work and come back. We both went to work. He has not said anywhere here that he's not self-centered. He has centered himself everywhere here, but he's teaching you selflessness.
Sacrifice for any other person. They are rude now.
Women are rude now.
But you want to love. So when I became a new Christian, I don't know if I've shared this here. I was serving every department. I told God that, look, the way I serve Satan, come on, I was not born again. I serve Satan very well. Satan, no. I lost somebody. I was a really born against.
You see how when he's talking about service, he still went to the service of God. There's no way this man mentioned that he serves in his marriage. He's still pointing to the service he's doing to God and to ministry. when he's talking about women, he said they are rude. So men are not rude. He said they cannot serve, they can't cook. He said we both went to work. He's just pointing everything. His own service is to God. He's too big to serve the woman. And they are telling you to marry a God-fearing man, that is the kind of man that if you marry, you'll be fulfilled. That's the kind of man they are selling to you. And women will tell you, I will marry a God-fearing man. I will marry a man that is this. I will marry a man that speaks in tongues. Now, say the new one that they are packaging is a man. They will tell you that, can a man raise the dead? They are now trying to package the power that they are trying to describe a good husband for you now. They will tell you, not just a man that is just this, a man who has power, who can pray and stand in the gap. That does not make a man a good husband. What it takes for somebody to pray for somebody is just empathy. If you empathize with somebody,
the technology, does he have the technology to raise the dead?
Sovereign, non-religious men also, the only thing that why we are focused, non-religious men, at the end of the day, the patriarchy is not a religious thing. We are just addressing the abnormalities within religion. That's why we focus on it these days. But it does not mean non-religious men. It is a system. It's not just religious men. But we are addressing this one because women fantasize about marrying religious men. And they think if they marry religious men, they will not be abused. Women think the solution to the patriarchy is marrying a religious man. And that is the myth we are debunking.
Clementina, what we are describing is a God-fearing man. This selfish man that doesn't serve his wife but expects to be the one who is served is exactly what a God-fearing man is.
India hemp smoking, pistol carrying, prostitute patronizing.
This man is telling you ashawo carrying, pew pew carrying, Indian hemp and all those things. He's calling all these things that these are things he's done. Can a woman who is preaching today tell you proudly and be proud of it that she served the devil and tell you that she used to do ashawo? Can she say that to you? Exactly. Somebody on YouTube said they beat the worst ones because they have a playbook of patriarchy since Sunday school. That's true. Can a woman come and tell you that? But he's proudly saying it even where his wife is. You don't even have respect for the woman that you eventually marry. You're proudly saying it that you carry a shower. He just said it now. See it. He said he used to serve the devil.
Satan know that he lost somebody.
That even when he was serving the devil, he used to serve very well. He's a good servant. He serves with all his mind. So even when he was serving the devil, in carry a shower, in carry pew pew, in smoke ganja.
But with that
okay, I will play that, barrister. Thank you.
With that kind of history, he is still marriageable. But a woman who has never done any of those terrible things, right? But maybe she doesn't like to sweep the house. That one is not marriageable.
Yeah, she's not marriageable.
Was a really one against it. India hemp smoking, pistol carrying, prostitute patronizing. You know, I was stealing anything onto any bad thing. I was into it. One sinner. Then I gave my life to Christ. And I said, the way I serve Satan committedly, I'm going to serve God more. Look out for the people's relationship with God before you come. You are not the one that will save them. Don't save anybody. You know?
He started serving God more. Not even one example of how he serves his wife. How many minutes was this video? Not even one example of the way he serves his wife did he mention. Yet he's a selfless person. He's a server. You have to marry somebody who is willing to serve, but not one. Yes, Chinenye, not one example of how he served his wife. Not one example of how he serves his wife, but he has told several examples of how a woman should serve him. Yet he's a selfless person.
And if you hear the wife give examples of how her husband serves her, you will just want to go and give that woman a hug. And be like, are you okay? Like the kind of examples she gives of how her husband helps her be a better woman, you'll be like, with this woman's intelligence, doesn't she recognize that this is abuse? These examples that she's even saying out loud in public about, oh, my husband did this thing for me to be able to, be better and face my fear and some this and that.
It's true, Joa. She's been abused.
So important. He addressed the issue of gender. At the time they asked this question, they didn't have a big gender issue like we have today, but Jesus was addressing it ahead of time. He knew a time would come, people will say marriage can be male and male or female and female. He said no, go back to the design. The design is one male, one female. He made them male and female, and the two of them became one. It's not male and two female. It's not male and male. It's not female and female. I know we live in a time where that is a big argument, where male and male want to call what they have marriage, where female and female want to call what they have marriage, where male and two female want to call what they have marriage. Because I don't know if you know, but there's a big debate right now on polygamy. Many men, even bishops, even pastors, are trying to push the idea that there's nowhere the Bible says a man cannot have more than one wife. That Solomon had many wives, David had many wives. This was Abraham. Talking nonsense. Have you not read? Have you not read? He made them one male, one female, and the two, not the four.
Do you know these people cannot even defend? They cannot even defend the idea of polygamy. They don't even know why. Do you know why what you're saying will not be effective when you don't have concrete reasons why you're saying? The only thing is that God said so, right? So the reason why God even says that should not exist, you don't know. As long as God said so, you don't care the reason, right? Because he's just saying that because in the beginning it was male and female. What does it mean to be married? It is just a union between two people. That is what marriage is. It is the legalizing of a union, right? And that can also be between more than two people. What polygamy practices, he is trying to say polygamy is not marriage. Polygamy is still a form of marriage. If they agree that that is what they want, polyamorous relationship and whatever, it is still marriage. As long as the laws of the land recognizes it as marriage, it is marriage. If you're just trying to explain why it is not right, that is understandable. So you're saying what a man and a man, if the state they live in agrees that that is marriage, then that is marriage. It is not in your place to tell them whether it is not marriage. It is marriage. It is marriage.
Not the 8, not the 6 became one. The 2, male and female, became one. So important. He addressed a man has at least about 10 times more nerves in his eyes than a woman does. This
They're defending promiscuity.
is why a lot of your life is controlled by what you see. Most men that enter trouble in their life, it always starts with their eyes. You are more attracted to women first physically. That's why if you are not disciplined and you drive or walk on the road, your eyes will keep going left and right for every beautiful lady you see. It takes discipline to understand that you are very eye sensitive. David's life was going perfectly until he saw a woman having a bath. That's it. His life changed forever. But Job was wiser than him. Job said, I've made a covenant with my eyes. He knew where to protect was the eyes. As a man, you are wired for vision. When they caught Samson, what did they remove? His eyes. To remove his eyes, he will kill himself. He won't go far. The moment you can see, you move fast. A man has at least about 10 times more nerves in his eyes than a woman does. This is why a lot of your life is controlled by what you see. Most men that enter trouble in their
Miss Becca, they are not speaking science, so they are speaking the science of heaven. They are speaking the science of spirituality. This is what they will tell you.
It's interesting that he's talking about the nerves in a man's eyes, but he's not saying much about the nerves in a woman's clitoris. Please know that women have more nerve endings in their clitoris than men have in their pee-pee. But nobody talks about that in the church.
Women are not human beings now. So whatever goes on with them, they are just wired for the pleasure of men, remember?
And men can reach orgasm, like they reach it once and then they have to recover, right? And many of them cannot even do another one. But a woman can have multiple, like this. Okay, I've said enough.
So when these people tell you that they are infidelity recovery coaches, these are the kind of things that they will tell you to cope with the infidelity. They will tell you, oh, a man has so nerves, so that is why. So the only thing is that we are going to try and coach him on how to manage it. This is what they tell you. When you go to them for counseling, you will hear things like this. When they are, thank you, Blue Passport, for infidelity recovery, you will hear things like this.
leadership involves focus. That's why, number one, God created for vision. Because that's why the leader should have vision. The world has tried to make men focus on provision. Provision is secondary. Provision, that's why provision is a function of two words, pro and vision. So it is vision that brings provision, not provision that brings vision. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? That's why the devil keeps telling you to chase provision. Devil pressures men, go and work, hustle, you must get money. Money answers to vision. If Satan can blow your vision, it doesn't matter, you will never get the full provision. The word provision to do was pro and vision. Pro means for. In other words, provision answers to vision. Provision is the money given to you for vision.
May I just want him to repeat this thing, but in Yoruba.
I want to know what his own vision is. A pastor who sits on Instagram to be looking at the profiles of single women. A pastor who is married. I want to know what his own vision is. A man who trains people to be counselors to help women stay with cheating husbands. I want to know what his own vision is. A man who charges hundreds of dollars to persuade women to stay with serial cheaters. What is his own vision? Because it looks to me like his vision is to profit off of abused women. That's his vision in life, to live fat on the suffering of women.
It's a law of life. Is somebody following? I say somebody follow.
To
Leadership
me.
involves focus. That's why number.
I'm not sure I understand Pascal's question. If you're asking if we do lives from live, I'm not sure I understand that question.
The what?
You said, is this platform one we can always return to, or this is just the topic today?
Yeah, you can. We come live usually weekends. Or if is it? Are you trying to say is this something you can come back to watch later? Is that what you're asking? If you're asking if it's something you can come back to watch later, you can watch it on my YouTube. Because I'm live on YouTube now as well. So you can always come back to the live on my YouTube to to watch what we just talked about, right? The YouTube is Everything Woman with Timmy. No space.
To be a hitman in a campus cult, like a gang. They used to carry from different campus to come and attack people. Was a hitman, huge guy like a giant. The guy came to our church then and he became born again. That giant became a gentle giant. Born again, tongue talking, Bible carrying, tithe paying, church attending, department member, child of God. Totally transformed. This giant became a gentle giant. He was now teaching in our believers class, tongue talking, filled with the Holy Ghost. He was a pillar in the church. This guy was so blessed. He used to pay tithe every week. Very rich, very blessed. He used to come to the church office and tell me.
Do you guys see why he knew the guy that much? He pays tithe every week. Very rich. How will he not know the guy and describe him this sweetly?
The pastor announced the needs of the church so that we can give. That's every pastor's dream, to have a member harass.
That's every pastor's dream. He said the guy will come and say, announce the problems of the church so that we can give. That is every pastor's dream.
Asking you to give. Most times pastors are harassing members to give. Now you have a member harassing you to give. It was a pillar in the church. While that was going on, we had another sister. Her dad left her mom. She became very bitter. She was fighting her dad, fighting her mom, fighting her elder brother, fighting her boss, even fighting me, the innocent pastor. So and our church was a small church then. She fought so much, she almost scattered the church. I called my ashes pastor. We held hands and prayed that Lord, send this girl to redeem. Okay, I didn't say redeem. I said send her to another church. We'll pray that Lord send her to another church. We can't handle this. We're too small. And truly, 2 months after we prayed that prayer, she came and said, Pastor, I'm sensing in my heart, God is leading me to another church. And we're like, wow, oh, are you sure?
History, thank you.
And she left the church. And there was peace and prosperity in the land. And a few months after, we heard that this brother had fallen in love with her sister. The pillar was in love with the caterpillar.
Thank you, history. The pillar was in love with the caterpillar. That the brother fell in love with that sister. History, thank you. These people don't understand nuances of relationships. They just sit down and analyze rubbish and Kai, thank you, Nene. Hola.
And just the way they throw around the word, oh, this person was bitter. Lazarus was very
bitter woman, bitterness.
Bitter.
You remember that conversation we were having? The other night. That's what he's saying. She fought with everybody. She fought with her father. She fought with. Why is the woman bitter? Why is that girl bitter?
No. That we shouldn't focus on why she's bitter. We should focus on her bitterness. Do you get? They want to focus on that bitterness. This is how they abuse victims even further. They don't want to talk about the what caused that person hurt, what caused that person pain. They want to use that hurt and pain to shame that person, right? And that's why Christians will come on my page too and say things like, oh,
you're a bitter person. You need to heal.
Bitter. You are talking from a place of pain.
Go to anger management, like what that lady said yesterday. Go to anger management. You need to heal.
Why are you making the bitterness the problem? Is the bitterness the problem?
Heidi, you don't miss so. Ola, please continue. I'm a bit hungry. Let me look for something to eat. I've not eaten today. I'm trying to snack on this.
They tried to shame you for what was done to you, rather than shame the people causing you harm. Right? Exactly. There is an inconvenience. It's like, stop shouting. It's like being involved in a car accident. Like you are driving, you are doing all the right things. You are stopping on red lights. You are going, hi ID. You are going on green lights. You are doing everything the way you are supposed. And someone just comes from behind you and hits you, and you get terribly hurt, and you have to be recovering in the hospital. And you are in the hospital, and they are dressing your wounds, and you are like, this is painful. And they are like, stop shouting, stop making noise. Like they focus on you, like you crying out in pain is the problem, not the fact that someone did that to you. And that's how they shame victims into silence. And abusers continue to perpetrate that abuse. Why religious people think telling somebody not to be bitter and is being bitter, why they think is a good idea is something I can never understand. That is lack of empathy. Not one place in the Bible means somebody that is hurting that they should stop being bitter. And this is the same Jesus they claim they are following his principles.
Tofumi, I'm not cooking, no.
That every time the Bible will say, oh, it was moved with compassion. It was moved with compassion. But somehow, these people that call themselves Jesus followers, they are never moved with compassion.
Even the miracles that Jesus did, he did out of compassion. But their own is they do it out of displaying power.
Yeah, power. Power. There's no power. You say you've been born again 10 years. Where is the power? They never ask where is the compassion, where is the empathy. No, it's always about where is the power. I am bitter, I am in pain. Why is it that when I come in contact with you, my pain is not eased? And then you say, you are being bitter, go and heal. Where should I go and heal? You people say you are the ones that have life. You people say you are the ones that have the answer. You are now telling me to go and heal. Where are you pushing me to go and heal? If you are telling me that, see the one I had to mute here that's making noise about use your platform to promote Jesus. And we'll also say you are bitter. So what exactly are you selling to me? You cannot help me heal. You cannot help my pain of bitterness. Where do you want me to go and heal?
They will say if you don't heal, you will bleed on others. As if bleeding on others is such a bad thing.
I tire.
So if you don't heal, you will bleed on others. What's so bad about it? What's so wrong about that?
All of them that call themselves apostles, they are drunk with power. Drunk.
Adam's Raphael, assuming something caught you and you're bleeding. Something happened to you and you're bleeding, and somebody comes and hugs you and is trying to get you to the hospital. Wouldn't you bleed on the person? Won't you bleed on the person? Because you yourself now, you've accepted that gospel to be true so much so that even now you cannot think about it and see how wrong it is to tell people that heal so that you don't bleed on others. A person who is injured, how is that person supposed to heal themselves? They have to bleed on somebody who will help them. But they are telling you go and heal so that you don't bleed on others. How do you heal yourself?
If you need surgery and the surgeon is like, I'm sorry, I can't help you because you are going to bleed on me, you would think that was weird, right?
Yeah.
But then you think it's okay to be telling someone that is hurt and traumatized that they should not bleed on you. They should not bleed on other people.
We have so normalized these things because we hear it every day. So we don't even question it because we think the person is making a lot of sense. I heard Femi Lazarus say that one time. Heal so that you don't bleed on others.
Oh, he says it a lot.
So if there is nothing wrong with bleeding on others, why are they demonizing bleeding on others? Nobody gets healing on their own. You bleed on other people and then they heal your wound. That's why you have people around. That's why you're not the only one on earth.
We did everything to tell this guy, don't marry this girl. You can't marry her. She's a fighter. She's a troublemaker. We told him both English language and sign language.
This lady has been in their church. They could not help her. There is nobody who is hurt that needs help. I don't even want to go into that conversation with you anyway. But then,
so what's the place of the church? That's what I want to know. What
because
is the place of
this lady right now that he's talking about, he said she fought her father, she fought this one, she fought that one, and they are saying the guy should not marry her because she's a fighter. So she's supposed to learn how to become a normal person on her own before she joins the church. But they tell you that
this is the problem with this species with lower intelligence.
they had
You will now be looking for ways to explain to a dog how to fly. How will you teach a dog how to fly now? Because you can say it in English, you can say it in your native tongue. A dog cannot fly.
because this thing we are explaining is actually emotional intelligence, and it is empathy, and that is what they lack. So it is difficult to explain to them what empathy means. It's like we trying to get somebody to be empathetic, and that is the quality the person does not have.
You're like, oh yeah, dog,
Fly.
Bingo, spread your wings and fly. Bingo does not have wings. Bingo cannot fly. It doesn't matter how much effort you put into it.
But too late. He was in love. From when they began the relationship, his life began to go down. His finances got hit. People don't understand when you marry someone.
His finances got hit because he married the girl. You cannot even prove that. They don't understand that life is not A, B, C, D, E, F. Life has nuances. They don't know. That guy could have made bad financial decision at the time. They don't know. They don't care. It was her. Because if there is a woman to be blamed, then she has to take the blame. And if there is no woman to be blamed, we have to look for a one to blame.
It's a journey of two destinies. You inherit all assets and liabilities. Many people they are dreaming about the assets. You are going to also inherit liabilities. That's the reality of marriage. They don't tell you. You think it's about the wedding. You are inheriting problem. Any problem they have, now your
person wey dey tell church say wetin church want make I give una money, that is not bad. Is that not a poor financial this thing? And it's possible it was because that thing was detrimental to his finances. That's why the lady was trying to get him to stop. That is causing them to fight. That could have been another thing.
His business began to be hit. He went back to fighting because she will go and look for trouble somewhere. He needs to go and defend her. So he got back to his fighting. They eventually got married. They married her back to church. She continued from where she stopped. After a while, she stopped coming to church again. Then some months after, he also stopped coming. I didn't see them for like 5 years. When I met him 5 years after, he said they were already divorced. And he said the only reason the marriage even lasted up to that 5 years was because they were trying to prove me wrong. That I want them, that it will work. So that they were trying to make sure it worked. That ordinarily it had failed from the first day.
Somebody who was financing that church to that level, he didn't see them for 5 years. And he didn't look for them. One day, that's true. One day, the big bad wolf. Yes, they usually add their own lie inside anyway. But then you didn't see somebody who finances your ministry for 5 years. But because you're so proud, you could not. You can see this whole idea of why they don't want anybody to bleed on them. Because it was their own turn to show up for that guy, but they did not. For 5 years, you didn't see the guy. You did not follow him up. You did not follow him up because you didn't see them. You say for some months they didn't see the lady, and then after a while they didn't see the guy. So many things could have happened that caused their divorce. And the next 5 years, you just accidentally saw the guy.
That's how it serves thousands of people. That's the service.
The same person who is telling you how he's serving people. These are the people who were serving him both in cash and kind.
It's interesting that he mentions that when you marry somebody, you are also inheriting their liabilities. And I'm just thinking of all the liability we Mildred don't inherit from this man now.
We dey come here, they talk about her sometimes. Now the liability now. When we dey insult her here, now the fact say she married this man, to say she no marry and she for no dey chop that insult.
Because someone that was carrying prostitutes up and down, how can you now expect him to care about pleasing his wife in bed? Do you get? When you are with prostitutes, you are paying for it. You don't, their pleasure or their comfort is not your business. So he will just be treating her the same way he treated prostitutes too.
He doesn't even realize that is how that has. He doesn't realize that has damaged him in that area. He doesn't realize that, and he doesn't even realize he needs therapy for that thing. But now he's preaching it as a doctrine.
He just has an ashawo he doesn't have to pay for now.
And that could have been one of the reasons that guy's relationship failed too. That could have been something else there. The difference is that his own wife may keep quiet. That lady is somebody who speaks up. She clearly sounds like somebody who speaks up for herself.
That they fought every day of that marriage. He was telling me. He said there are times he almost threw her from the balcony. He said there are times they will be driving on the highway, they will park the car, come down and fight. And straighten their clothes and enter back into the car. Last time I heard about him, I hope that's not the story till now. But last time I heard about him, he was homeless. He was no longer in the faith. He was sleeping in a bar. See, who you marry will either make you or marry you. See?
Oh my goodness. So
I have a question. How did he describe this guy's lifestyle before this guy became a Christian? What was this guy doing? Or am I mixing stories up?
You're not mixing anything. It's the same guy that he said he's a pew carrying type of guy, a very strong, a very big.
So he did not. So this guy did not enter that marriage with any baggage, right? It's only the wife. It's only the woman that enter with baggage. Is what he's trying to say now.
The guy was giving tithe in church, so he couldn't have had any baggage. He was paying tithe. How can somebody who pays tithe have baggage? How can somebody who pays tithe have baggage? Did you see how when he was talking about how the guy serves in church and how he's dedicated to God, he's talking about how much the guy gives in church. That is the dedication to God that the guy has. This guy does not know this person's character. He doesn't. He did not say anything about the guy's character.
Because he sees himself in the guy.
Exactly.
He's a former cult boy now.
And we know that a narcissist is most narcissists are generous to outsiders because they buy loyalty. He said that the girl was in church, but she used to trouble everybody. She fights with everybody. She has fought with her parents. She has fought with everybody.
Because for him to say, oh, the guy became a Christian, but there was still one or two things wrong with him, would feel like Kingsley attacking his own self.
And did you notice that this guy is saying that the last time that he heard about him, the guy is now homeless, he's jobless, he sleeps in a bar. You are not telling us what you have done to help him. A guy who has done so much to help you, you've not mentioned what you heard about him. You did not bring him back and make sure that this guy is fine, considering he has sown into that ministry. After everything, the last time you heard about him, he was sleeping in a bar. You're not telling a story of somebody that you have helped though. After everything this guy has done, you did not do anything about his own situation.
Destiny altering decisions. It's not about flower and engagement ring. It's not about wedding picture. It's not about sex.
That lady, even if truly that lady was such a curse to him, she's more of a blessing to him than this guy is. Exactly. He's now using his story to shame the guy in church now. You cannot help the guy, but you're using his story. You did not help the guy. The last time you heard he's sleeping in a bar. So these people lack empathy. They will use you. You remember when I was saying the problem with religion is the moment when somebody was asking if you can go to church for community sake, community building, the moment you stop agreeing with the exact things they agree with and doing the things that makes you and them that community, they will disengage with you. They are not willing to serve you. They are serving a ministry that they want to serve. You are just being used as a tool to serve the ministry. The way you go to church and you think you guys are a family, they will hold hands. Hold your neighbor. Hold somebody. Tell him that I love you. You not turn. I love you. Raise your hands together. I used to like that song. So whenever they are singing it in church, I used to put attitude. And praise the Lord. Then you finish that. Then you now do this. I love you. You love me. We all are part of God's body. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. We all are part. They say, I pray for you. You pray for me. When I go sing this.
Let me sing my favorite one. I love
this family of God. Tell me how close it is, so close. It lifted me so high and high. They have taken me into a place I am so glad to be. I'm proud of this great family. Then you guys will now hug. Ooh, and I used to enjoy because I like hugging people. You now hug your neighbors and then tell me how close it is. Then we'll do.
Says, how will the man feel listening to this? That one no concern Kingsley again. Kingsley don't use them for like toilet paper, flush and down toilets. He doesn't care about how anybody feels.
I love hugging people. I love it. So I would just they know me in the former church. I like hugging people. I almost joined hospitality. It's just that I cannot wake up early to be going to church. So that was why. Hey, don't you know you mean so much to me?
Don't you know you mean so much to me?
Don't you know you mean so much to me? Higher and higher we will go. I love you very much. I love you very much. I love you very much. There's one guy that knows how to play this thing like reggae. He will not put that reggae to this thing. Then you will not be doing I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Yes, I love you with the love of the Lord. Come on. I miss jams for church. And that my last church, they used to have some guys that used to sing that they will bring them. If you see them, and that one, he used to collect all these boys that have retired cult boys and the rest. They will come with their dada and their colored hair. You know, their own jam used to be different. Kai. So you will not think that is a community. When it is time for you to need your community, exactly. When they are no longer turning up on Friday, they will say, no worries, we'll turn up on Sunday. We'll turn up on Sunday. So you cannot get a community there because you're either serving a purpose there, but they cannot serve you. These people lie, they can't serve you. They are not serving you. Because this guy now, he said the guy is still homeless. The last time he saw him, the guy is homeless. He sleeps in a bar.
Because the attitude behind that is that we warned him, he did not hear.
He did not
hear his life now.
See his life now. If that guy were to still be in church, at best, maybe they would just let him to be squatting with one brother somewhere. But they will not help him to improve his financial state.
It's a destiny-altering decision. One of my guys in church used to be a hitman in a campus cult, like a gang.
It could not even have been the nemesis of this guy being a hitman that was following him. You know, see that one. Do you know what it means that somebody is a hitman? It means you dey kpai people. You think you go kpai people finish by just waking up and say, oh, God, forgive me. And all of a sudden, the people you've kpaied, their family no go, they swear give you. They don't leave you.
No, that woman, the wife he married is the root of all his problems. It had nothing to do with the life he lived before.
See the description he described this guy.
To carry from different campus to come and attack people, what the hitman.
They go carry him from one campus to go and attack people in another campus.
Huge guy like a giant. The guy came to our church then and he became born again.
Now when the guy come to our church, he became born again. Because now them be transformers. What's the name of their church, Seth?
I don't even know, because the church is not actually their main business. Now marriage merchants them be.
As about 5 years ago, 9 out of the 10 richest men in the world were divorced. 9 out of 10. 8 were officially divorced. The 9th one was married but was living with another woman, so I added him, he's divorced. It's not foolish people that fail in marriage. For you to be among the richest men in the world, you are not a dunce, you are not a fool. In fact, you are almost genius. Do you know how many documents you have to read if you are...
Shoot me already to put me at David Christian Center. How they no go they behave like this? Is the spirit of David.
Richest man in the world. Do you know how many times you have to sign your signature? Do you know how many meetings you have to be in? When you are not in a meeting, you are in a meeting preparing for the next meeting. Are you getting some of you are not the richest man on your street, but you're always in meetings. But picture how many times the richest man in the world, how busy he is. So he's not a dunce, he's not a fool. The issue is that he's not unlucky, because people come to me and say, Pastor, I'm unlucky with love. Nobody's unlucky with love. You're not uninterested, uninvolved, uncommitted, not unlucky. If you can be the richest man in the world, you are studious, you are hardworking, just not interested. Just not invested. Are you getting what I'm saying? The king of the world 5 times. I'm showing you people smarter than me and you that are failing in marriage. It's not fools that fail in marriage. It's just people that refuse to learn. It's not an attack. You have to learn. Where you invest is where you harvest. That's about 5 years ago.
Listening to this guy, I'm trying to just like, if I were to be a man, right? Like, we are listening to this from the perspective of a woman. But assume you are a man and you want to learn about marriage and how to have a successful one. Look at the several minutes of clips of this guy that we've listened to. What would you learn?
Yeah.
Learned as a man
that you can implement. Yeah, not even benefit, even if it does not benefit you. But what have you picked that you're supposed to be doing? If you leave this place now, assuming you're a man and you live here, right? What is that one thing that you said, I've gotten, I'm going to go and apply it? I will start doing it. Let me start doing it today. Thank you for that question, Ola. I wish this life is something that is even open for men, so that I can hear what they will go and do. If you feel like you're blessed, what are you going to go and do? I wish there was a man on this life, so that with everything we've played, right? What are you going to go and do today that you say, I'm going to go and practice it? At least for women, you've learned that you should go and clean up and cook after a man. You should make sure you're not lazy. You should, if he comes back from work. Okay, Nick said, I'm a man. Tell me, if you've been here from the beginning of the life, what is it that you've picked from his message that you can do? That is something he has said in these clips that we've watched that you can apply. Tell me what it is you can apply. Because he has said so many things. He said it is funny to learn makeup from watch other women do their makeup. So women can go and not watch other women do their makeup. If you come back, both of you come back from work tired, no matter how tired you should cook, you will come back and cook. You've learned that you need to not prepare for wedding, just prepare for the marriage, prepare to go and serve, right? All these things. What is it that a man will do? Let's give Nick some time. Maybe he's typing. This bed where they traumatize me for here. You want to enter my eye? And it's already big. This eagle, they gave birth to is it eagle? What is the name of this small?
and with all this rubbish is spewing, these big churches, even in the Western world here, would invite this guy and be like, yes, come and talk to our church members about marriage.
Yeah. Fina Care said, try to invest in the happiness of your marriage for it to last. What is the investment? I don't want to hear anything vague. I just want to hear exact thing. Like, what should I do exactly? I don't want anything vague that go and invest. What is the investment that I need to do? What exactly is the thing that I need to do? Even Nick said I can't actually pick any specific thing he wants the man to do. So you guys can see, these people are not educating anything. They are just saying a lot of beautiful nonsense. So these people cannot actually help your marriage. Thank you very much, Nick. They cannot help your marriage. They will not help you grow as a man. See, even on this our life that we bash men, right? A man will come on this life and learn things that he can apply in his own relationship that it will work for him. Do you understand? At least we share stories and how men have been ineffective in this area. Somebody is sharing their experiences and they will tell you, if only he had done this for me, if only he had done this. Men can be on this our life that we bash men, and they will learn and they will apply in their marriage and it will work. We talk about emotional intelligence and how it makes marriages to work. We say those things here. Men can come here and learn. Do you get? It may not be a comfortable space for them to sit in.
Someone said, I don't like this man's preaching. The fact is, he's not preaching. This is just beer parlor talk.
Yes. You see, Nick said I wanted to
hear
hear do these specific things and do that, but that was not the case. Exactly.
Everything he says is just beer parlor talk. Like, it is something you can go to beer parlor and hear. He just brings that into church, gives himself the title of pastor, and charges people a fee. It's beer parlor talk.
You know how they can just say, women these days, all these new generation women, they know they submissive. This new generation, all these women, their problem na BBL, no mind them. Then you say, barman, bring one bottle.
No virtuous woman again, no. Women of these days, they go just put themselves for Instagram. They call themselves Jesus baby. Nothing.
But you will pay transport to go to church to listen to that.
And pay.
And still pay him to come. People are paying this man to teach their husbands how to be. This man is not even a good husband to the one he married. He just came. Regret, thank you. I've been playing messages upon messages upon messages. He has not said one way that he is serving his wife. He has not said anything. But that is the man that is an epitome of kingdom marriage. That is the signpost of a kingdom marriage. He has not said one thing that he does for his wife.
Even in beer parlor, at least the money that you put down, you will still get quality drinks for the money you are putting down.
Exactly. Soila, thank you.
This one, you will put money down. The only thing you do is you lose brain cells and your IQ drops. Finish.
And you wonder why women are always, I married a born again man. You see all these brothers now, their own worse. Women always have that story, but they cannot look into it. Because when you leave the church on account of abuse, they are not even following you to ensure they know what happened to you.
Even the women that come here and talk about, there are still quality men out there. It's just that ladies are not looking before they leap. They are not this and that. They are not. The women that say these things are the ones that attend the churches that pay Kingsley Okonkwo to come and preach nonsense. So if your own so-called spiritual father that is leading you in the faith, that is teaching you how to look before you leap, is still consulting Kingsley Okonkwo to come and I don't know. That thing just gets on my nerves when women talk like that, because they want to show off like they have some kind spiritual discernment that other women lack. But
you guys, my phone went off. The phone that I'm using for TikTok went off, so I just hope it was overheating. Let it cool down a little bit. I'll come back. I'll put TikTok back on. That's why I like Android phones, honestly, because they never do this.
was that she didn't like driving in Lagos. Like the idea of driving in Lagos used to scare her because of how crazy people drive in Lagos. And her husband knew she needed to go to church on the particular. Her husband had gone ahead of her, and her husband purposely sent the driver home and told the driver to close early for the day and made sure that anybody that could drive her to church would not be available. Just to make sure that that thing that she doesn't want to do, she does it by force. And that is what she's giving as an example of how her
He
husband
made
is
her
a
a
wonderful
better person.
husband.
There was something else that she even said again. Can you guys hear me? My phone had gone off. It overheat and went off. Can you guys hear?
Now.
Okay. So she also said something that he wanted her to do something for him. And then she said no. Then he just went off on her. He started sparking, right? He started raising his voice at her. I think when she started saying it, she just realized that what she's saying actually sounds somehow like it puts the man in a bad light. Then she now said, I can't really remember what it was. Okay, I think it was one billboard something. Then she now came up with one cooked up story where she was like, she said that he wanted her to be on a billboard. He wanted her face to be on a billboard about a certain program, and then she had said no, right? This guy does not look like somebody who will come and ask her that we want to put your face on a billboard. He looks like somebody who will just go and print the billboard without even asking for her permission. So I know that she was trying to lie. Do you get? But even if that was the story that she initially wanted to share, the fact that somebody said they do not want their face on a billboard, you cannot be like, oh, why is that? Find out why the person does not want their face on a billboard and be like, okay, but this is the work of God. I think if we agree to do this, and you explain your reasons why you wanted her face on a billboard. That is how an emotionally intelligent person should be, right?
Do you know that for those of you that have heard me say a thing or two about my ex-husband, he's not as horrible as Kingsley. He's not as horrible as Kingsley. Me, I'll tell my ex-husband that this responsibility.
If you're on YouTube, can you hear me? If anyone on YouTube, can you hear me? Thank you.
Responsibility you want me to take up in church, I'm not interested. I don't want to be a part of it. It will be like, okay, even though.
And even it will annoy him. Yeah, even if he wants to persuade you, he would explain why it is important for him that you be there. Do you understand? But for her to say he
explained tire. He explained tire. I was just like, no, I'm not doing. And he just left me, like, he just let me be. He didn't try to, like, sit on my head or anything. Like, this guy is worse. You know, is when a woman leaves a marriage, people think, oh, that husband was just the worst of all. They don't understand that another man can be in a 50-year-old marriage and is worse than the one that I left. People don't get that. This guy is worse than. If I was married to Kingsley Okonkwo, I couldn't have been married for 11 years. I could not have been married for 11 years.
Not even 3 months. I can't even do a week.
Could they work?
If you're on YouTube and you can hear me, please let me know. If you can hear me, just say hi on YouTube. If you're streaming from YouTube and you can hear me.
And I also want ladies to think, this story Timmy shared. Why do you think he got really aggressive with her about putting her picture on a billboard? Why do you think he was so aggressive about that kind of thing? Why couldn't he just be like, okay, no problem, I'll just put my own picture alone then? Why?
Okay, Tofumi, thank you.
Why do you think he got so mad about it and wanted a picture on that billboard by force, by fire? Because she would be saying that kind of story as if, oh, it was just for her husband was trying to encourage her ministry, trying to get her to do something for God. Exactly.
The market sells better if it's a woman. If somebody is going there to go and preach about submission, right? The market will sell better when it's a woman. You can clearly see that a woman is submissive.
And now it's not only her face that is pushing her ministry, it's even her brain that is pushing the whole thing. Everything, whatever people think they know about Kingsley now, as per being one marriage expert or being whatever, the fact that we are even seeing him on social media, she's the brain behind everything. Absolutely everything.
Let me see which one was the next video, Seth. Let me check. Oh, okay. I was using these hotspots. This phone may even go off any moment. I need to get power bank.
She's the one that writes his books. It was her idea that they should be on social media. And when she would even bring some of these ideas, you would push those ideas, right? It would be like, no, this and that. But she went ahead and created a social media account for him, created one for herself, and started helping him grow it. Until this thing started growing and he had even more followers than her. He now became interested in social media. He's using her. The way Proverbs 31 husband used his wife very well is the way Isu is using her. When they search, they find people. See, the thing is, women have a heart for God. Do you get? Like, women don't just follow God because they want to make heaven or they want to avoid hell. Women genuinely have a heart for God, a heart to please God, right? They genuinely you can lead a woman into any kind of ditch as long as you can convince her that
it is God.
She's doing it in service to God. A woman will follow you into a bottomless pit if she's convinced that that is what God wants and requires of her. So sometimes it's not even about the man in question. It is that the woman will do whatever it takes for that man if she's convinced that that is what God wants her to do. I was trying to respond to a comment about Mildred is a very fine woman. Why did she yeye herself with Kingsley? How can we uproot that mindset from growing girls?
That's what we are doing here now.
Plant it at all.
That's what we have been. That's what the entire idea of us being on social media. That's what we are doing on social media. This thing we are doing right now is uprooting the mindset. There are people who join this life and they tell you that, oh, they used to listen to this man, right? But now they know how to, they can now point out these things on their own. That's what we are doing here.
The chips are down. Nobody's confused about gender.
Look at this person that went to school. Look at this person that went to school.
The chips are down. Nobody's confused about gender. These things only happen when there's peace. Once there's real crisis, everybody knows who is who. Last time I came to Canada, I met someone that had run from Ukraine. He had moved from Ukraine to Canada, so he's now living in Canada. So I said, when what he did, he said, was a Ukrainian citizen. He was an African, but he had already naturalized in Ukraine, so he had a Ukrainian passport. So I said, what happened? He said, once the war broke out, they announced that women and children go into safety. Go to neighboring countries, go everywhere, go to safety. All the men report for active duty. We're at war. And not one woman, not one feminist came out to say why. Let women also go. Not one feminist. All feminists agreed. When the chips are down.
Did you guys hear what he said? Not one feminist came out when they said women should go to. Women in the army are men. In their eyes, they are men. They don't even think. They don't think that there are women in the feminists. Lara's Beauty, you came late, I think. But this is one of his messages that we just played here. If this sounds right to you, then. He said not one feminist. The women that fought in Lantern War are not women. And then for what reason, if you believe in equality, why are you going to war with another person? Can you see how sick these people are? These people are sick. Why is a war something that you are waiting for it to break out? So a person should submit their entire lives to you because you will go to war and they will not go to war. That is enough reason for somebody to be submissive. That is enough reason for somebody to be submissive. Has Kingsley ever used his eye to see a war? Let me ask you. His wife is submitting to him now. There is no war now, but she's submitting to him. Till this man on our lives, he's not going to see it. Till this man passes, he will never see a war. So I should submit my life. And should I tell you that if war comes, they unalive women as much as they unalive men, but then women get raped. They get RAP'd in war. Men don't. So the highest that can happen to a man is that he passes. This Boko Haram issue in Maiduguri and the likes of them, I lost an uncle in a cousin self in recently, earlier this year, right? It was all over the news. He was a pastor. They unalived him because he could not run. His family ran. There was nothing he could do. It was not about him protecting his family. It's because he could not run. He had issues with his bones. He had tuberculosis of the bone, so he could not run. They unalived him, but his family ran to safety. When the chips are down, men will run. When the chips are down, men will run. And if a woman has a pew-pew, she will be the one to come out. Is who has access to a pew-pew.
Let's not even talk in general. This Kingsley that is talking, if an intruder enters their home, it is Mildred that will protect him. See the size of this Kingsley's tummy that is saying that it's men that fight wars. This guy cannot face an intruder. That will attack that intruder, almost unalive him, before Kingsley will remind that don't do that.
What is it?
Like people.
Huh? No, very soon. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll soon be done. I'll come. Close my door.
See, people think I'm joking.
You said?
I'm not even trying to be funny. I said people think I'm trying to be funny by saying Mildred will attack the intruder.
Rogred, what are you
seeing?
Be funny. That's fact. Because right now she's even online, she defends his honor. Did I not just give you an example of how she was trying to say something and I think she thought it would look bad on him, right? Then she quickly changed to something else. That is she protecting him. She's protecting him.
Mildred
So
will almost buy somebody because they wasted cold malt.
yeah. These men just say a lot of rubbish. And do women even stir fights? Do women go to war? That is the thing. There are countries that are led by women. Have you heard that those countries are going to war? No. And you know, the fact that this thing annoys me personally because I have experienced like unrest severally. I come from Plateau State. I know that these things that these people are saying are lies. If this thing happens, everybody comes out. Nobody is inside.
And it's just the way like the confidence with which he puts out misinformation and people swallow it.
Yes, I come from Jos as well. Blue passport Nigeria. I am from Jos. I have seen people, I've seen unrest. I have seen unrest. So I know what I'm talking about, that these people are lying. I have seen people being unalived in my presence. I have seen people being like really in my presence. I saw the 2001 one. I saw the 2018. I saw 20. When you talk about bomb blast, I saw all these things. Do you understand? I saw all of them.
And there are this Ukraine that is using as examples. Here in Canada, we have Ukrainian evacuees. We have men that they came here to see if they can find work. They didn't even live with their wife and children. Their wife and children have not even joined them. So he's painting this false story like, oh, they evacuated all the women and children, and it's the men that now have to fight. That is a load of bologna, like bull-faced lie.
Yeah, I saw the Dogona Hawa one. I saw the Terminus one as well. The one that happened in Rukuba Road, I saw all these things. Please, you guys should not even engage with that nitwit, because they are right now like this. I'm even triggered. I'm triggered. So the fact that it's even here like this now is just because say, you know, they where my eye day right now. I'm so triggered. Don't even engage with him. He's a nitwit. He's a nitwit.
And even the Biafran war that happened in Nigeria. Tell me how many battles. What was the name of this their leader?
What's his name? Thank you guys. I forgot him. I forgot him. You said okay, yeah.
Ojukwu.
Yes.
Did Ojukwu stay to fight the war? No, be run away.
Exactly.
That's the person that was leading these people to war, saying yes, we are going to fight Nigeria. We are going to liberate ourselves. We are Biafra. We are this. The leader first run, while the people he was leading were being unalived. He didn't pick up a gun to go and fight anything. He fled the country.
So they will tell you that how many feminists did this, how many feminists came out. If they come out, they should come and tell you that yeah, they've come out.
Women were busy trying to keep children
alive.
Trying to keep
and a lot of them were unalived. Till today, Chibok girls have not returned. Any man that has been unalived has been unalived, right? But till today, Chibok girls are still being in captivities. They are still getting impregnated by their predators, having children for these people, cooking and cleaning after these people who are their predators. Do you understand?
And who are the people speaking up for these girls? Is it men or
exactly women? We don't hear any man still speaking up for them. We are talking about them on this life. Now, how many men still do that? So that is what war does do to women. That is what war do to women. And these men think they open their wide, miserable mouth to come because they have a voice and they have a microphone to say that feminists don't do this way. That's when feminists run. The same person that cannot clean up after himself, that believes that sweeping his house is condescending to him, is the one that is talking about feminists. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that women don't go to war? You will just know that the person is daft. If you say that, you will just know the person is daft. Women live in a war steady.
This guy, I'm sure this guy cannot single-handedly wash his own boxers. It's his wife that has to deal with his stinky, stained boxers. He can't even clean that himself. Because cleaning his own boxers self is beneath him. His war he wants to fight.
I have a meeting by 6, you guys. We have somewhere to go by 6. So by 6, I might be ending the life, right? The only reason why his wife can carry microphone and preach in public is because of feminism. No matter how loud she thinks she is and she wants to preach, there are places that even if they go to till today, she cannot preach there. So the only reason why she's even able to preach is because of feminism. But does he even care about her enough to think feminism did something for her? Does he care about her enough to think so? And that thing he's even saying is a lie. Women go to do you know in Lantan when there was crisis outbreak in Lantan in 2001, right? Women could not Lara's beauty, there is no war between men and women. There is a femicide. That thing is not a war. War is when two of you are fighting yourselves. Women they are the day they give birth to you, the world is fighting you. Men are fighting women. Women are not fighting men. Women are not asking for vengeance. They are asking for equality. They are asking that men stop abusing them. It is not a war. Do you understand? Women are not fighting men. If women were fighting men, you will hear that women are unaliving men. The way you hear men unalive women, you will hear that women are unaliving men. But that's not what you're hearing. That's not what you're hearing. That you have your boot on my neck and I say, take your boot off of my neck. That is what men think going to war means.
Oh, how they love us so. I'm drowning in men's love here. Oh, Jesus. They like us.
I think she wanted to say they don't like us.
If she knows that they don't like us, oh, I don't even know what to say. I'm not at breakfast.
Mandy. Happy, thank you. Welcome. Yeah, she wanted to say they don't. When you say you are at war with somebody, both of you are fighting each other.
I wish that was all there was to it, though. Like,
thank you, Abby.
If the only problem was that, thank you, Abby. If the only problem was that the men don't like women, our lives would actually be easier.
I'm telling you.
If that was the only problem. See, there are a lot of women that don't like men, but those men's lives are not being affected negatively. It's more serious than men not liking us. Yes, this you are only meeting benediction.
So the only reason why he thinks feminists should shut up is because feminists cannot go to war. So that qualifies him to be a leader. That qualifies him to be a ruler. Do you know that in a sane society, people who go to war don't lead people, right? And that is why we don't have military rule. That is why there's a democracy. So in a sane society, they are not expecting the person that goes to war to lead. Nobody is expecting a leader to go to war in a sane society.
And going to war is like the essentials of life, right? It is how we stay alive from week to week.
He believes that that is how people stay alive.
It should be illegal to have this degree of ignorance. If there's a degree of ignorance that somebody should be jailed for, and the person will say, "What's my crime?" To be like, "This your ignorance is a crime. Is this guy's ignorance?"
Barrister sent me one of the videos. So this particular one, I've not seen the video. So we are seeing it together. We are reacting to it together.
If you are not careful as a married couple, when the season changes from when we are both single to when we start having kids, most mothers begin to give more attention. This is their instincts, I'm telling you. They give more attention to the kids. Many marriages have cracked once kids came. The instinct that kicks in is...
So yesterday, I'm a terrible mother because I did not pack enough snack for my kids. I did not pack a change of clothes for my kids, and I sent my kid to church. That's what we were hearing from him yesterday. Now today, the reason my marriage is going to scatter is because I'm paying attention to that child.
Naomi said she had to use ChatGPT to find me on live. Is it to find the live or to find my page on YouTube? So ChatGPT know me. Wow.
So I don't know. Yesterday, I'm a useless mother for not paying attention to my children. Today, now, paying attention to my children will destroy my marriage.
You know, you remember that video that I made that I was like, ID, which famous? Even you, if I search ID now, ChatGPT know you. I'm just joking. They know everybody. As long as you're online, you can find the person. I was just trying to be funny. Okay, class captain. Okay, I get it.
The motherhood instinct, which heightens their sense of security and protection. So they start giving all the attention to the children and then neglect the man. That's where most men go astray, because the wife is giving little or zero attention. My wife too did that to me. I know she was surprised, but I was...
His wife did that to him. It was something she did to him.
Mandy said she's having a Chiamaka moment. See, this thing is not a Kingsley problem. It's a male problem. Like, this thing he's talking about is not a Kingsley problem. This is how men feel. That's
you guys, this man also, you are a father. You even, are you not supposed to be a participating parent? But when a man is telling you that it's the woman's job to clean the nose, it's the woman's job to pack lunch for the child, to make sure that the child has a change of clothing and all these things, he has so much time in his hands to sit down and think that a woman is not giving him attention. How will he not need attention if he is not a participating parent? Do you know that there are people who had children and they don't have time for themselves? They have time for their children. They are paying attention to their children, but their marriages did not crash because at the time they need to be parents and all hands were on deck to be parents. But when a man believes that parenting is a woman's job, he has all the time to need attention.
Because you will never see a man that gets up in the middle of the night when the baby is crying and feeds the baby and changes the baby's diaper and put the baby back to sleep. You will never hear him complaining about, "Oh, my wife is not giving me SEX since she had the baby." Because that man himself needs sleep more than SEX at that point. You will never hear him complain about such a thing. The same man, I'll be saying, "Hey, sweetheart, when we get married, me, I want 4 kids." So you be like, "No, it's 3 me I want to. No, now I have 4. 2 boys and 2 girls." When those babies start coming, it will now be the same guy that will now be complaining that the children that he asked for, you are giving them attention.
Didi said, "I'm a social worker. I once asked a father his daughter's date of birth. He told, let him let her wait, let him call his wife first." This one is
Didi,
This
date
one
of
no
birth
be.
is still okay. At least date of birth cannot endanger the child's life. There are fathers who don't know their children's allergies. They don't know the medication or the food the child is, that if this child has this thing, no, it can bite the child. The father does not know it.
On him, don't worry. This girl was the coolest wife. I mean, when we're just newly married, coolest wife ever. There's no party she didn't go and do with me. No, I used to ride big motorcycles. Those.
As if I knew. I made a video addressing this issue today, and I've made a video to address this issue before on my channel. I've made it on my TikTok before. I have a video. I think I will pin the video today, and then I made a video addressing this issue today, but I may not be able to post it today, right?
See that thing that is boasting that his wife goes with him. That thing scares her to death. Oh.
Exactly, Manka.
That thing she has mentioned before. This thing he was just posting about, that my wife follows me on dead bike rides and blah blah blah. She, as Mildred has said before in a message, that thing scares her to death. That every time she does it with him, she feels like I might never see my children again. This might be the end of my life. But because she loves him so much, she puts herself in that kind of situation. But that her own husband cannot endure watching Nollywood movie that she likes with her for like the whole duration. Isn't that interesting? This guy cannot sacrifice his time to watch the movie his wife likes. He cannot
My dedication,
sacrifice
thank you.
He cannot sacrifice to please her in bed, but she risks her life to participate in his hobby. Literally risks her life. How does this make any sense? Watching a movie with her will not buy him, but he can't even do that.
Even when this woman when you will have a child, he said she did that to him. That you have a child, you're confused, you're being a parent for the first time, you don't know what to do, the baby is always crying. Do you know, I went visiting a friend that had a kid. She was breastfeeding the whole time. I went there around that kind 11-ish. The whole hours I was there, she had twins. She was trying to breastfeed. I said from when I went there till I left, she was still trying to breastfeed. She was so, and I spent like over 4 hours in her house. So at what point is this woman supposed to get up from there, have time for herself, still be able to pray and have the time for God, still be able to cook and do her, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And these are the people who are training the men that are supposed to marry you. These are the people who are training the men that are supposed to marry you.
I think when I was still trying to figure out this whole motherhood thing, that I'm still like, what did I get myself? Like, it just be like, say, my like, say, my person who don't scatter. I'm trying to adjust to being a mother. This guy, they tell me, say, now wow, you don't even initiate sex anymore. And your food is not even, your cooking is not even tasting the way it used to taste before. It's like you don't put as much effort into your cooking anymore. Like it was as if I was abusing him. Do you get? He used to eat very tasty food before. Now I'm just cooking anyhow thing for him. Like there was never a time he got home from work and I was like, oh, sorry, your dinner is not ready. Let me quickly put something together. No, dinner was always waiting for him.
Glory, what do you mean, host? Are you a feminist or a womanizer? Do you want to write woman? I think she wanted, because she saw womanist on my this. Womanist is the same as a feminist, honestly. It is it's just that black women have an issue with the term feminist because they believe that the movement initially was from white women and it did not include the struggles of of black women. That was why they introduced the word feminist, but the word womanist. right? So it sort of encompasses both feminism and the struggles of black women as well. That's why I used womanist, because I love black women so much, if just in case you don't know. Okay, yeah, womanist. So that is why. Yeah, I'm a feminist, a womanist, and anything woman, anything femme and woman, count me in. Do you know, if I was a man, that would have been that would have been Glory. Why is me being married a question? Why does it bother you that I'm
He wants to pray for the salvation of your soul. How a wonderful woman like this can go and join all these feminists.
Glory, why does it bother you if I'm it's like I need to do this thank you, Didi. I need to do this you know this there's this challenge that they are doing now, that there will be one song killer tin 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 that they will now bring out there. Are you tin? Anytime they mention feminists, why do you guys bother if the person is married or not? Like, what does it matter?
Because to them, feminist means man eater, and feminist is supposed to be just a fancy name for lesbian. That's the thing. Chineye, is it me that you're asking? Regret. I don't know if it's me. Chineye is asking, how did this happen?
Glory said because she doesn't believe in feminists. That's okay. I don't believe in certain things too.
See, it's okay to not believe in your own autonomy and the fact that you are here.
This is the first time that I'm hearing this version of feminist definition. I've heard that feminists are witches, feminists are man haters, she said feminists are men in women form. Wow, interesting. Interesting. That's interesting.
Chineye, I'm no longer married. I decided to follow the biblical commands that said
It doesn't matter, Glory. Even if they are witches, I'm gladly a witch. I'll be happy to be a witch if they are witches. I think the person was comfortable with me because she saw womanist, so at least I can be anything as long as I'm not feminist. Womanist is a more radical version of feminism.
My own question is, if feminists are even men in woman form, what's so bad about that? Is it not God that created men to, like, you understand what I mean? It's not as if you are saying feminists are elephants in woman form, right?
She said,
you
but
are saying they are men in woman form. So
she said, but feminists
not created in God's image.
I think he's even a man. I actually think he's a man. That but feminists are women who stand to fight a man. A man. So feminists are women who stand to fight men. So you guys, this is the level of lack of education that we have to deal with. And if this is a woman, it breaks my heart a lot more. If this Glory is a woman, right, I find this even more heartbreaking. Because Google is literally free. If you have an Android phone, you can Google what feminism means. And that would take you less than 5 seconds to get the definition of feminism. it will take you less than 5 seconds to Google what feminism means and read about it and tell me. Anyway.
Look, we'll leave our house on the mainland. Those of you that have never lived in Lagos, we'll leave our house on the mainland, ride bike in the night to the island to go and buy ice cream. She was a bad girl. I can go on and on. We did many crazy things. She was following her husband. Until children came. To even get her now. She always say, two of us can be doing crazy things together. We have children. Because that's a woman's natural instinct. And God designed it that way for safety. If two of you do crazy things, you're going to leave your nest to be hot. And if you're not careful, it can lead to a strain. I had to kick my son out of the bed. Pastor, if you know how many couples are facing the issue of newborn baby sleeping on the bed. They are so young. He was coughing. He will not die.
And women with children and men are sitting down in that congregation finding it funny. They are seated there finding this rubbish funny.
Because caring for a child that cannot do anything for itself, like this child cannot clean itself up, cannot even say I'm hungry, cannot even say I'm thirsty, cannot even say it's my head that hurts. For a woman to focus on our attention on that helpless infant is like she's abusing her husband.
Yeah, they find it abusive.
She's abusing her husband because the husband does not want to be sharing the bed with the sick baby. Because
that he said he had to throw his son out of the bed. He had to chase the boy from staying in the bed. When he said throws the son, don't think he's talking about a 5-year-old child.
And they said since they used to have all this fun together, riding on bikes together, and then since she had kids, she was like, no, both of us cannot be doing dangerous stuff. So the fact that the woman is now thinking, if now that we have children that are depending on us, both of us should not take stupid risks with our life. It is a problem for him. And this is the guy that is leading the family. Is the leader leading the family, but is unhappy that the wife is thinking about the well-being and future of their children. And that bike is riding, what is he getting out of it other than just adrenaline and feeling good? That is more important than their children being taken care of if anything happens to either one of them.
It's even more important than their children having both parents. So even if he's the one that unalives, is it a good thing for children because your father wanted to be reckless? Is it a good thing for children to grow without a father because your father wanted an adrenaline rush?
But he's the leader and the priest. Okono.
Nurse NK.
Let him go to his room. There are many couples that don't have sex 1 year. Why? The baby's lying down. One big man. I've seen big men beg. Big man, white beard like this. But the baby has been sleeping for 5 years. He's seen his old father with white beard begging. That the man of God needs ministry. This boy cannot be here. Service is not going to be able to hold.
Women lose
If you're
them.
not careful as a married couple, when the season changes from when we are both single to when we start having kids, most mothers begin to give more attention. This is their instincts, I'm telling you. They give more attention to the kids. Many marriages have cracked once kids came. They are the instinct that kicks in.
So when I tell you guys that divorce happens between the first 5 to 10 years of marriage, because women, that is the childbirth era of women, and men cannot be supportive. Mark Tilburg, why do you want to know where I currently live? Because men cannot be supportive of their wives and that is why marriages break. So for those of you who want to marry, and especially when you see a divorced man and you are interested in marrying him because he told you how crazy his ex-wife was, just know that these men cannot be supportive to their wives at the time that these women see. Let me tell you something, even though before children, right? Before
This
children,
glory, no, this glory is like there's something glitching in his brain. It just keeps sounding like, when we used to listen to CD or and the thing would just be doing,
do you know why I'm laughing? He has a perception of what feminism is. The way, when you are just like we said, beer parlor conversation, and they tell you, feminism is a bad thing, right? So they have a perceived notion of what feminism is. They have this misinformation that they've spread across to each other, that is what feminism is. So when they come and they're like, oh, you're a feminist, they expect a certain level of Hola, he's warning you. They expect a certain level of aggression. What they expect to see, when they don't see it, is like, no, you cannot be feminist. If you are this, you cannot be feminist. That's because they don't even know what feminism is to begin with. That's the problem. They don't even know what feminism is. They just heard somebody somewhere that said feminism is man hating, feminism is this, and then they take that information without researching it for themselves. They just have that notion in their head. That's by the
or someone's TikTok live and say, let's debate.
eh,
Let's debate on something they know nothing about.
so this is the reason why most divorces happen. I'm telling you, 80 to 90% of divorces, this is the reason. That women have children and then men cannot men I'm a feminist till the day I die. Glory. I be what? I am a feminist till the day I die. So they cannot be supportive partners, and men do not subscribe to service. You see this act of service, they did not bargain. they did not they did not bargain to serve anybody. They bargain for people to serve them, right? They bargain for people to serve them. So when they are getting married, they don't have it at the back of their mind that I am going to work, I'm going to do this. They don't have that at the back of their minds. So when they marry initially, the first few weeks or months of marriage before pregnancy and children, they are over the moon. They love it here. They love marriage. They love marriage. Marriage is wonderful. But when children start coming, and at that time, women are usually happy to cook and clean for men. They are happy to do things for a man at that stage. They are just happy to cook, to clean, to be such a great husband, to be such a great wife. And before marriage, women go and learn new recipes. That was why Ola, you were saying your ex-husband said your meals are no longer. Before marriage, right, you be learning recipe of meat pie, recipe of meatballs, recipe of yam this, recipe of plantain chips, plantain boats, this one, ice cream. You're learning recipes, you're learning things, you're reading about marriage, you're learning things. Men don't do that. Women learn new recipes because they want to marry you. So when they marry, they are exploring, they are doing things, they are cooking a storm in that kitchen. And
they are also learning how to cook a storm in the
bed. Yes. So when they now marry, it's like men are over the moon, because a man will move from eating palm oil rice that his mother will just put rice and put beans and put oil, put everything and carry and put on the fire, and when the food is cooked, she will bring it down. Oh yeah, come and collect this food. Yes, regret. There's plantain both. Nurse NK, you are not a good wife, or you didn't learn those ones. You are not a good wife material. So when a woman gets married, she's doing all these things and the man is happy until she has kids, and she cannot recognize herself. She does not know. Plantain boat is just like is like is bole, but you will roast it and open. Before you roast it, you open the middle, right? Like you slice the plantain and open it and stuff it with.
It's bolly, yeah, but you won't cut it all the way through.
Yeah, you will just stuff the plantain with so you can pretty much anything you like, sha, but I like using meat, like minced meat and vegetables and other things. Then you stuff it and bake it. That's what plantain boat mean is.
Until women understand that the way their body does, when you hear that your husband that you love so much is sleeping with another woman outside, the way you feel neglected, betrayed, and everything, that is the way the man feels when you guys have a baby and you start to cater to that baby.
Exactly.
It's a competition. When you don't have energy enough to sleep with him, yet you have energy enough to let that baby be sucking your breast, his head is just going bang, 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 bang. Like, women don't think of these things because they think it's really petty, right? They can't imagine an adult feeling that way. But that is exactly how it is. There is such a thing. This is something that psychologists will even tell you that it is a thing where a man is envious of his own child and looking at that child like is the wife's side husband or something. Like there's a sexual there's the word I just said now, component to the envy they feel.
You guys, it's
Yes,
already
okay, the thing.
I have to go right now. I have to go now, right? I have to go, so we may not be able to finish this, but I made a video on this issue, so I'm going to be posting it on my YouTube channel. If you're not yet following me on my YouTube, it is tagged to my TikTok page, right? So just click on the link in my bio and you would see my TikTok there. So you go over there and follow me, watch my videos, guys. Mandy, you're welcome. I think we'll talk about it. We'll talk about that, what happens in marriage and divorces before, by next week. That's what we'll talk about. So if you're not following me on my YouTube, please go over to YouTube and follow me on YouTube, right? Nurse NK, you're welcome. Thank you so much, guys, for coming. I just have to go. I wish I could stay longer, but yeah, I can't. See you guys next time. Bye. YouTube people, pele. I even forgot.